All right, everybody. We have a very much anticipated debate here. We have two very feisty opponents. We have the Misfit Patriot and Garry the Numbers Guy. This is going to be an absolute, I would say, brawl. That's my prediction. This is going to be a brawl. But guys, thank you to both of you guys for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
As always,
Thank
man.
you.
Of course. So I'm going to get this started here. Our first topic is going to be Israel and Palestine. Now, I know Garry is Jewish, but he is not in favor of Israel. And Misfit, I'm not sure if you're Jewish or not, but you are very pro-Israel. So whoever wants the first kind of opening statement, go ahead, but that'll be our first topic here. It's Israel and
Let our man go over there first, man. He said something about on Twitter, I read that he's okay with every Palestinian kid dying as long as Israel is safe. God damn, bro, for real?
Yeah, see, the problem with the internet is a lot of you guys have reading comprehension problems. So
you didn't say that?
Yeah. Well, hold on. Like I said, you highlight the first part. Yes, I'm okay with every Palestinian dying, as long as it stops Hamas. You see, if you focus on the first part, it sounds like a horrible statement. If you focus on the second part, then it just sounds like a pragmatic response to any conflict, and we've been okay with it for, I don't know, the past however many years, right? This is what I say. Were you guys okay with Operation Gomorrah? Because, you know, it basically was like a linchpin in stopping the Nazis in World War II, because they dropped 9,000 tons of bombs.
You're comparing the Palestinians to Nazis?
No, I'm comparing the situation, right? When you have to fight an enemy that is evil, for instance, the Germans, the Nazis, right? And the Allies come together and they go, hey, we're going to have to bomb Hamburg, Germany, right? They're targeted civilian areas, right? They didn't target the Nazis. They targeted the civilian areas, right? And the reason you do that in a war is because you're trying to get the other person to give up. You know, it's like, what do they value? Do they value their own people? Because that's how you do war. And it's tragic. It's awful. I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. But yeah, am I okay with that strategy that's been going on?
Why would you tweet that though? Like, I'm okay with every single Palestinian kid dying. Like, you know that's going to make a lot of people. Like, did you tweet it just for engagement?
No, I tweeted it because I'm tired of the struggle session between these fucking virtue signaling, like just basically woke right douchebags. It was in response.
Woke right douchebags.
Yeah, it's in
woke is the left, my friend. It is not the right. The woke are the ones who are pushing transgenderism, pushing feminism, pushing all that garbage. So don't tell me anything about woke right, bro.
Oh yeah, well, woke is an oppressed view of the world, right? And you think that the Jews
is that Israel, the definition?
Yeah, it is actually.
That's a definition.
Woke originated when the black community came together and started saying, we're woke. We have woken up. We have woken up to an idea that there is an oppressor out there. The oppressor is the white man, capitalism.
You think they just figured that out a couple years ago, bro?
Well, if you don't understand the etymology behind the word, I can explain it to you if you want. If you'd like me to just, if you don't have to sit down there. Shut up for a minute, and I'll explain.
I'm not too good at shutting up, especially when I hear a whole bunch of bullshit. But go ahead, bro.
Obviously, if you were talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, that would be woke left, right? But it's the oppressor-oppressed dynamic and mentality behind your ideology, right? The left has an oppressor-oppressed victim mentality where everything is hyperfixated on an other people group. The right, the woke right, has an oppressor-oppressed victim mentality hyper-focused on another people group.
Let's go to the woke right. Give me examples of woke rightism, because this is garbage in my opinion, but go ahead.
First of all, I think you've already sort of signaled. I don't watch your content, but you've signaled.
I don't watch yours either. I'm way bigger than you, though.
Who cares? It's just numbers.
Oh, I'm just this is content. We're doing a podcast. Yeah. I'm establishing that I'm a somebody with 9 billion views. I don't know who the fuck you are, bro. But it is what it is.
If I don't care about this, but if that's
whoa, you don't care about this? What are you doing this for?
Hold on, because I like to have conversations.
Misfit, Misfit, didn't you make a video on me flexing that you got more views than me on X?
Yeah,
Though?
so that's what I'm saying. If you really wanted to go with I have 9 billion views, there's one
Yeah, but
page.
don't say you don't care when you made a whole video
No,
saying you
what
got
I'm
more
what
views
I'm
than me.
saying is if your standard of, I don't know, being a somebody is how many views, then I've had billions and billions of views over the past 5 years too.
I don't know
So,
who the hell you are, bro.
me neither. I don't know who you are. So
Well, here's the thing. I've been invited to the White House. I used to
yeah,
run with the Warriors. So
yeah,
people actually who matter know
yeah.
who I am. Again, I don't
Okay.
think anyone who matters knows who you are, but it is what it is.
Oh, there's plenty of people
Yeah,
that
who knows? Does Donald Trump know your name?
Don Jr. does.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's good. I'm good. I'm the one who told Donald Trump he'd be president of the United States in 2016, but it's good to buddy up with the kid too.
It's
Nice
good
little
for,
nepotism there.
it's good for you, man. I just think that this is a weird way to view yourself, is like it's like a popularity contest, like high school.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
well, it should
It's
really
clout.
well,
It's clout.
yeah,
That's
the
what you're
currency.
doing a podcast for.
Yeah.
See, I'm being honest.
No.
I'm being genuine with people that I'm doing this for clout. I'm doing this, all these podcasts, all this content I do it for clout. I do it because I want to shove numerology and astrology down people's throats. What are you doing it for? Protect Israel?
No, actually, I do it. I do it because I think that I have a positive message that I can, bring out to other people. Social media.
What's your message?
Well, the reason to
kill all Palestinians?
No, I never said that. But I mean, I think that one of my message changes from time to time. The message that I'm going with right now.
That sounds like a woman, bro. Flip-flopping from time to time.
Well, my general message is to fight against extremists on both sides. Right now, it's the right. I've done it with the left. I'm doing both at the same time.
What is your problem with the right?
Not the right. I'm on the right.
You just said you had a problem with the so-called woke right. What is your problem with them?
Well, what happened with the woke left, right? The woke left made the entire Democrat Party look ridiculous. Nobody wanted to vote for them because they allowed the extremists in their party to take over. I think that same thing is happening right now on the right, where we're allowing people like
who are the extremists?
Like Nick Fuentes and the Groypers. You got Stu Peters calling for a final solution.
Hold on. Okay. When you talk about Stu Peters, he's a piece of shit who just caught a DUI.
Perfect. We can agree.
Stu Peters just rugged his old dumbass Nazi community. Well, how much that coin lose? About 85, 90. That's what's it called? J-proof?
J-proof.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. This is complete garbage.
Jew-proof. It's not Stu-proof.
Again, Stu Peters is an alcoholic. Stu Peters is such a piece of shit. He made a movie about not getting vaccinated, but the bitch couldn't even fucking convince his own wife not to get vaccinated. So it is what it is. The hell is Stu Peters? He's a piece of shit.
Well, hold on. Can we let's try to come to some sort of an agreement right now, because it looks like we have a common we sharing a commonality on this. Do you think that Stu Peters makes us look bad, right? Because he does talk about how he's on the right. He's a right wing. He's a
Nazi.
Yeah, that's
not
exactly.
right wing. That's not conservative. It's a Nazi.
Just because what I'm saying is he's voted for Trump, unvaccinated. He aligns with the ideology of a lot of people on the right. So
Stop. You have two choices here. You have Kamala Harris and you have Donald Trump.
I understand.
So you understand there's not much of a choice here. So sometimes people are going to align with the candidate you believe in.
Correct.
Because he aligns with their point of view more than the other one. So yes, the Republican Party is turning into a big tent party, and you're going to have pieces of shit like Stu Peters in there. But let's keep it real. He doesn't like Donald Trump. He calls Donald Trump Netanyahu's bitch. And at the end of the day, that's not true, because Donald Trump was the one who was telling Netanyahu, listen, you better end that war. We're going to have problems. And he did. He stopped bombing him. Donald Trump told him, we're putting a tariff on you. And when Netanyahu came over here and he's like, oh, can you please take the tariff off? Donald said no.
How do you think?
And the main thing the Groypers do and all these other guys say, oh, Donald Trump pulled Netanyahu's seat out. That means he's subservient. Yo, I pull seats out for my bitches too.
Okay.
So people need to stop that nonsense.
For the way that we're being viewed by a person who isn't in politics 24/7, who doesn't actually know these groups, the ins and outs, who doesn't know that Stu Peters doesn't like Trump. How do you think an outsider would view Stu? You actually just said it. You go, we're a big tent party and you're going to have people like Stu in it. Don't you think it would be smart to get him out of it? Right?
No. You have two choices. You have two choices.
hold
You
on.
have two choices.
You don't think it's smart to clean your own house. The Democrats didn't do that, right? And the third party watcher, right? The person who isn't involved and engaged in politics all the time, right? They look at the tent as a whole, right? So if we're including people like this in the tent, if we're not calling them out, if we're not trying to housekeep and do some just general hygiene, then we're going to do the exact same thing the left did, where we're going to allow the most radical voices like Ilhan Omar, AOC, and the squad to take over, and then we're going to be sitting here going like, "Hey, why are we all being viewed as Nazis? We're not Nazis. Why are we all being viewed this way?"
When has the Republican Party allowed women to lead? I mean, you just talked about AOC and that Somali bitch. You're talking about Democrats allowing women to lead. That doesn't happen in the Republican Party. So I'm not sure that's a good point by you.
You missed the point completely. It's not about gender.
It's always about gender.
No, it's about their ideology. Right. Okay.
Well, most women tend to be communists. So
yeah, but this is not my argument. Had nothing to do with women. It had to do with the most radical. All right. So like Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson's not a woman. You let the people like Harry.
He's
a bitch though.
He's basically a woman.
He's a bitch.
Okay. So
he's a little soy boy.
So you have the woke left, right? Men or women, a woke left who have become a very prominent voice. You got David Hogg, right, being voted in for like the DNC chair, right? They're just going further and further left, and people aren't aligning with it. So wouldn't you take notes and be like, hey, maybe we should learn from their mistakes and say, okay, they have a radical version of their party, right? There's the woke, the far left, and they didn't get rid of them. They didn't call them out. They didn't say. They just said, hey, fuck it, we're growing the tent. We want their votes. We want these people. Don't you think it would be smart if we would to just do some minor hygiene on our side and go, hey, you know what? I think that we should all start calling out people like Stu Peters, and you just said you do, but we should start calling out the extreme movement, which we're calling the woke right, just because of the ideology, where it does align.
You call it that, I don't.
Well, I mean, you've heard of horseshoe theory, correct?
I mean, whatever.
Do you know what it is?
Go ahead, educate us.
So you don't know what horseshoe theory is. Horseshoe theory, so the shape of a horseshoe, the two ends of the horseshoe, right, which would be the tips of my thumbs. Those are the far left and the far right, and they are closer together in ideology than the tips of my fingers, which would be the handle of the horseshoe. This. If you guys don't know what this is, then you should look it up after.
It sounds like some bullshit, but go
No,
ahead.
it is. It's when it's the extremes of both sides have much closer alignment with each other than they do the moderates or centrists in each of their individual parties.
So you think Harry Sisson and Stu Peters would get along? Is that what you're telling me?
No, I think that if you use simple common sense, right, and look at their ideology, right, which is identity politics, right, where everything is focused on their identity, right? You got the nationalists on one side, you got the socialists on the other, right? You have that ideology. That's their main core argument, right? We want nationalism on one side, we want socialism on another side. Then that's the woke part. Then you have the right wing, that's the right part. Then you have the woke part. The woke part is an oppressor oppressed victim mentality, where there is a they out there, a people that are oppressing us somehow, right? And people are always like, it's the Jews, it's Israel. Israel controls America. Israel
doesn't have influence over America with AIPAC? Is that what you're telling me? Does
the National Association of Realtors have control over America?
No,
because they're the number one PAC. So are the national
are they Americans?
Yeah, so is AIPAC.
Okay, no, AIPAC. AIPAC's agenda is to promote Israeli interest in America. That's not the same thing as a housing.
But what's the A stand for?
AIPAC?
What's the A in AIPAC stand for?
America.
Okay, American. It's
American, whatever.
They're American Israelis. You know, there's an Italian PAC too, right?
Yeah, and they don't have nearly as much power.
Well, I mean,
so you're telling me you know more than senators and Congress people who have stepped. Hold on. You made a statement. You're telling me you know more than senators and Congress people who have stepped down, left Congress, and they say AIPAC has an enormous influence over American politics. You're telling me right now you know more than those people who actually served.
You realize that being a senator or a congressman doesn't mean you're smart, right? AOC was a fucking bartender. So yeah, I
You
can.
didn't
I can
answer the
use,
question.
Yes, I
You
do.
didn't answer
Yeah,
the question.
yes, I think that I. Yes, I think that I know more than many people in Congress. I
You,
think a lot
so
of people.
you
A
think
lot of
you
people in
know
Congress.
more than many people in Congress who get
Yeah.
actually
What?
intel? They have
Are you?
all sorts of
Are you?
information you don't have,
So,
and you think you know more than them.
so you're making an appeal to authority to trust the experts in Congress. You trust Congress.
No, I didn't say I trust Congress. I trust they know more than you.
Okay, so that's an appeal to authority.
No,
You
that's
think,
not appeal to. That's
well,
common sense that
you
people in
think
government would know more than you do.
people in government are also a lot more corrupt than I am, right? So
I
they
don't
have
know
more.
that.
They have
I
more
don't know that. I mean,
they-
I saw your rap sheet. You assaulted a 60-year-old.
no, that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. Okay.
No.
Well, I mean, I
if
got
you see,
I got it right here.
oh, do you see a conviction on there? Do you see?
I didn't say you got convicted. I said you got
Okay.
charged
Well, no,
with
you said
assaulting a 60-year-old.
You said I assaulted somebody.
You
See,
that's what you got charged with, sir.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got charged with assaulting a 60-year-old. So let me I want to know the details behind that. Why would you assault a 60-year-old?
Was Donald Trump guilty of all 92 felony counts?
You're not Donald Trump. You're nowhere in the same league. Don't put his name in your mouth.
Again, what you're saying is you trust the system over doing your own.
I'll tell you what I trust. I trust that most of the people who belong in jail are in jail belong there. So I'm gonna assume you did something fucked up to be charged. Are you telling me you didn't do anything?
Yeah, no, I've already explained this. It was self-defense.
You didn't explain it to here. You're on a podcast. People trying to hear.
I've explained it. It was self-defense, and it's going to be
from a 60-year-old.
No, it's going to be argued in court. You'll find out everything.
Uh-huh.
Not going to
be so a 60-year-old stepped to you and you whooped his ass.
I've already explained this. It was.
I haven't heard anything. Explain.
Multiple people attacked me. I defended myself.
So wait, it was like you went to an old folks' home and they jumped you?
He went to a old nursing home and they started attacking you with walkers.
Yeah. So look, man, if that's the way you want to debate, where you just go straight to
listen. The messenger matters. The messenger matters. Okay, you're making statements here, and we need to know who this person is, who you are. And over here in your rap sheet, it says you got charged with assaulting a 60-year-old. Hey, listen. To be fair, I assaulted a cop before. And I did 9 months. I assaulted a cop before, and I did 9 months in prison for it.
You were convicted.
Yes.
Right. So you admit that you did.
Oh yeah, I do it again.
Okay,
I do it again too.
So your credibility. You're saying that my credibility based off a charge.
Because I'm actually honest. I tell people the truth. You're over here like not taking any accountability.
Well, I did because I didn't do it. I didn't assault anybody.
Then why'd you get charged?
I just told you, man. I was jumped, and it was my word against theirs. So I'm going to argue it in court, and I'm not going to.
So if a 60-year-old steps to you and starts trying to push you, you're going to get in a fight with them.
Hold on.
Is that how you do the thing?
Again, hold on. Do you want to use this type of debate tactic where you go and you look
brother? We're going to do whatever we need to do.
No,
so explain yourself.
I just want to know if you're arguing in good faith, and apparently
I'm trying to get answers.
Well,
I'm trying to get answers. That's it.
What this tells me is you're losing the debate, so you have to deflect and bring it to me. Right?
Okay, Chad, I'm losing the debate because this guy refuses to answer a question about him.
I just did, but why? But why even go down this road?
Why? Because the messenger matters. If you're going to say certain statements, we got to know who you are.
You assaulted a cop, so everything.
Yes, I did. But see, I'm honest about it. I'm honest about it. I don't care.
I'm honest too.
So, well, by the way, when did you get charged with that?
Last year.
I got charged in 1998, so a little bit different, bro.
So you assaulted somebody. I just told you that I got jumped. I defended myself. Right? You can take my word for it or not. But
when's the court case?
You just made an appeal. It's coming up soon. I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, everyone on the internet will want to watch and see how that happens. Let's see if you end up in the same prison as Epstein.
If this case gets dismissed, would you be willing to apologize to me for that insinuation?
I'm not going to apologize for anything. I didn't say you got convicted. I said you got charged, and that's a fact.
Well, no, you actually said I assaulted somebody.
Well, that's what you're charged with.
Yeah, charges are
okay.
Yeah,
okay, I'm going off what I was sent, man. You got a lot of fans out there who sent me a lot of stuff about you. I don't know who the hell you are. I just know you got
guys,
charged
with
assaulting.
Let's get a little bit out of hand.
Sound a little bit like the woke left, bro.
Let's try to do one at a time.
I'm anything but a leftist, bro.
You guys are speaking over each other a little bit, so I'll give Gary a minute and then Misfit a minute to respond. So, Gary.
Listen, at the end of the day, we got to find out who the messenger is. This man said he's okay with every Palestinian dying as long as Israel is safe. I think that's a little bit extreme. Some people would say that's extremely extreme. I think that's a bit extreme. And, you know, I want to find out the type of person we're dealing with. And you look at his rap sheet, he assaulted the 60-year-old. At least that's what he's charged with. I didn't say he was convicted. That's what he's charged with. So at the end of the day, we have a person over here who looks like he's violent himself, and he wants to promote violence against people who are suppressed. I find that very interesting.
Okay, Misfit.
Yeah, like I said, I find it interesting when you're in a debate with somebody and you're arguing a topic, like, you know, like a general topic, and then the person comes and tries to bring in a personal attack based that
It's
has
not a personal attack.
that has nothing to do.
It has everything to do with it.
I didn't interrupt.
Gary, please give him a full minute.
I didn't interrupt you. All right, so yeah, like, and I think that when the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. You said I assaulted somebody, right? And I
that's what you got charged with, pimp.
Again, you're not gonna let me talk. You gotta shut up, bro. You gotta let me finish. So, I've explained this, and it has nothing to do with the debate. So if you want to actually stay on topic and talk about what we're actually here to debate about, great. If you want to learn every little detail of my personal life, if you want your little stalker followers to send you every little thing, right? I'm not going to pass your purity test, right? But you
definitely not. You're definitely not.
But I
okay, we established that. Let's move on. We established that. Okay, let's move on. You didn't want to talk about that too much.
What, Gary? That's a great idea that you just had to move on. I wish I thought of it.
No, it's already a checkmate on that one. Let's move on to the next one. So let's start with Israel. First of all, tell me if you agree. I believe Israel has a right to defend itself.
Of course.
Okay. So we established that. And I'm going to be honest with you. If I didn't know exactly what happened on October 7th, I would be 100% supportive of what Israel is doing. But see, here's the thing. That wall they have, that system they have, a fucking cockroach couldn't get past the wall from Gaza into Israel. So how did all those Hamas members get across? So here's actually what happened. Vladimir Putin and Iran are very, very close. And Vladimir Putin in October 2023 was actually losing the Ukrainian war. He was on the back foot. His soldiers were being pushed back. So what happened? He called in the favor of Iran, and the Iranians activated their proxies, Hamas, to go in there and start causing trouble and start killing people. That's what they went in there for. But there's a little piece of evidence that people just want to look past. Netanyahu, who's the prime minister of Israel, was probably going to get fired. Right around October, September, there's mad protests in Israel for this guy to be removed from power. And right when October 7th started, all of a sudden his approval ratings went down because he's the war hawk who's going to fight Hamas. I think he let him in. As a matter of fact, I don't think this. I know this. He let the Palestinians, he let Hamas in there to kill a whole bunch of Jews, and then he used that as a pretext to bomb the shit out of Hamas. That's exactly what the hell happened. So again, when it comes down to this, Netanyahu let them in. So if I didn't know that part, I might feel like you. But that no one is getting past that wall. That wall is more secure than any place on earth. Hamas was let in to cause this trouble so Netanyahu could stay as prime minister and didn't have to face legal issues. That's what happened. And at the end of the day, that's not self-defense.
Yeah,
that's murder.
You realize that there's plenty of videos out there where the Palestinians and Hamas were taking down that wall with like a piece of farm equipment, right? Where it was literally
because they let them. There were stand down orders. There were stand down orders. Netanyahu let them in.
Look, hold on. That's your theory.
No,
right?
no, that's fact.
No, it's not.
No. See, with this phone, I call people who can call Netanyahu. Okay, I'm a Jew. I can call people who are billionaires who have Netanyahu on the phone, and they told me straight up in 2023. They told me they let him in. So don't give me that bullshit.
Trust me, bro. Okay.
I don't trust you for anything.
No.
I trust you as much as I trust a whore.
Your argument is trust me, bro. I know a guy. Your argument is that there was the fence that I saw literally get toppled over was the most secure fence ever. It happened on a holiday. There was people that, you know, I don't even know it. Hey, and you know what? There might be,
1973 when they attacked, it happened on a holiday too.
Hold on, are you going to interrupt me every time I talk, or
when you talk nonsense? Yeah.
Okay, so just the whole debate. You're gonna
let's do it that way.
Okay.
No holds barred, brother.
I mean,
You're good at this.
I don't know what I'm doing here if that's the case.
You don't know what you're doing. That's for sure.
Like, I mean, if you wanna,
that's for sure, bro. You have no idea what you're doing. You like a virgin with a fucking prostitute. You have no idea what you're doing.
If you want to talk to yourself, like, you can just do that. Like,
let's try to keep it somewhat like to yourselves.
Go ahead, man. Say your bullshit. I'm listening.
Okay, so your evidence that, like, the Netanyahu let them in, and this was just a big coordinated effort between the Israeli government and Hamas is I trust me, bro. I know a guy. They couldn't get in the fence, and it ignores every piece of evidence that all the other military experts have.
Oh, so now you trust the mainstream media? Gotcha.
Well, I trust people like John Spencer. I trust people like John Spencer. I know John Spencer, and he's broken it down, right? I mean, now the Hamas and the Palestinians were building all these tunnels and infrastructure for years. So the Israeli government obviously knew that something was going to happen, right? And this is where a lot of the conspiracy theories come from. They go, well, Israel knew it was going to happen. Israel knew it was going to happen. And I would say, yes, of course they did, right? But they knew it was going to happen the same way that I could say, I know there's going to be a terrorist attack on U.S. soil based off of the amount of people that came in under the Biden administration, right? There are sleeper cells here of radical Islamic terrorists. We already saw the New Orleans attack, where I know that was an American, but he was radicalized by ISIS to run over a bunch of people in New Orleans in January. So I could say I know for a fact that that's going to happen, but do I know exactly when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen? No. And the option that Israel had to prevent this was to occupy and invade Gaza. They were damned if they did, damned if they don't. If they went in prior to October 7th and said, we know you're going to attack us, so we're going to attack you first, we'd be in the same place that we are right now, where all of you people would be screaming, oh my God, this is ridiculous. I can't believe the evil Israelis are going in and just being settling in that land. So I understand why people have the theory, right? But just like you just said, you don't actually have any solid
I have evidence.
No. It's the same type of evidence people have that the Jews killed JFK. It's bullshit. Okay. All right, everything.
Who killed JFK then?
I mean, I don't think we actually fully know, but
we don't. Well, I mean, Donald Trump and the Trump administration released files, and in those files it said Israeli intelligence Mossad was complicit.
How many times?
So now you're telling me that's bullshit.
How many times did it say KGB in that report? It was over.
It is what it is.
368 times.
I didnn't say they didn't have a part of it. I just said Mossad did too.
So 300.
Mossad had a part.
Mossad, the 4 pages that you're referring to, they're literally documents that don't mean anything. And
of course,
Israel
those pages don't mean anything.
No,
I like how you do that, bro. You decide you decide what matters and what doesn't in the same report. That's beautiful.
Okay, so what did it say? What did it say in those 4 pages of documents? Right. It said that we would like to keep this confidential because of something that is completely unrelated to the JFK assassination. It happened 9 years after the JFK assassination, so it doesn't make any sense. There was nothing. There was no big smoking gun in those pages. You just found the words Israel. Right, you found the words Mossad and Israel intelligence, and you go, "There's the proof." Right, you're like, "Oh, there's the proof." Like I said, KGB was mentioned. There was Cuba that was mentioned hundreds of times, dozens of times. Israel's mentioned 4 times. This is the thing, guys. This is the 95-5 rule. Conspiracy theorists, you're 5% right about 95% of the shit you talk about.
Right? I see. So when I was telling people not to trust the government, not to take the vaccine, I was 5% right.
Yeah, everybody was.
Yeah,
dude.
okay.
I did the same thing.
Did you get suspended? Did you get suspended for telling people not to get vaccinated?
Yes, I got suspended.
How many times?
367. Fucking dude, I've been banned more than any person on the internet.
I've been banned 24 times on Twitter. You got that beat?
Yeah, I have.
You got beat 24 times.
I have been banned. I've lost almost 400 accounts. Yeah,
400 accounts.
Yep,
I call bullshit.
It's all documented. You can look.
Okay, I want to see that documentation. 400 accounts, bro. Yep. How do you have time to make 400 accounts? Because I lost 24 accounts, and that's a big number.
So
damn, you must think this is like some kind of OnlyFans party. You're talking about body counts or something like that. 400 accounts seems a little bit excessive.
Would you like me to explain it? Okay. All
Go
right. So
ahead.
in 2021, when I was on TikTok, I was giving people the information on how to call the CDC, how to report to VAERS, how to fight against vaccine mandates. I was kicked off of a job because I refused to wear a mask. I was kicked out of the restaurant next door because I was refused to wear a mask. I'm just like you guys, right? So I got banned on TikTok a couple times, and then the woke left started coming at me, and they were mass reporting my account over and over again. With TikTok, you can make 10, 15 accounts a day. It takes 20 seconds to make an account. So every time they would ban me, which was happening multiple times a day, sometimes 10, 15 times a day, I would just make another account and I'd keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back.
Jeez.
So over the course of a year and a half, I made 367 accounts on TikTok. I've had 3 X accounts. I've had 30 Facebook accounts. I've had a few Instagram accounts because I have had the woke left coming at me, mass reporting me for the past 4 or 5 years. So yes, I have been banned with more accounts than any other person on the internet.
TikTok. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Let's take.
No, I'm not on TikTok.
I have 1 million followers on TikTok. Let's take that out the picture because I know I'm
Good
not
for
even
you.
broadcasting this on TikTok. You
Good for
can't you cannot put content like this on TikTok or you're gone.
Yeah.
Okay, but Twitter, bro, you said you've been suspended 3 times on Twitter. I've been suspended 24 times. I visited Donald
Good for
Trump's
you.
White House in 2020, and my bank account was suspended, and then my wife's, and then my brother's.
That wasn't-
So I know what real suppression is by the left. Don't tell
yeah.
me anything about the woke right. The left is the one suppressing people, not the woke
Misfit,
right.
Misfit,
Have you ever had your bank account shut down because
Yeah,
of what you said on social media?
I've had Stripe taken down. Square.
No. Bank accounts, not Stripe.
No, not my actual.
No,
bank
okay.
account.
I got you.
I have a debit account.
Misfit,
Well, maybe
did
you don't
get
have anything in there,
did you
so
get
they
the
don't care.
vaccine for COVID?
What's that?
Do you get the COVID vaccine?
No, of course not. No.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
All
Pure
right.
blood. So anyway,
Oh, if he took the vaccine, I'd be cooking it right now.
Yeah, 400 accounts just to take the vaccine would be brutal.
No, I was very outspoken against it, right? And
we agree on that. Congratulations, brother. I see. I applaud people when they do the right thing. I applaud people. Congratulations, man.
What's funny is I think we'd probably agree on pretty much a lot of things, right? We'd agree on 99% of things, but then
I don't think we agree on 99% of things.
Right around October 7th,
Uh-huh.
right? There was a very clear party split between people that are more, I guess, conspiratorial against the Jews and Israel, and people like me, right? Who I don't really know much about the Israeli government. I've never really spoken up for. I've never supported the Israeli government. I don't support any government. I don't even like my own government sometimes. I supported the Jews because I saw a lot of behavior that was going on, like on the right, the left, whatever. Like it started with the left with all those protests where they're holding up fucking swastikas. Then I see the right joining in. And the reason why I started speaking up for them was because I see a very similar dichotomy between today's society right now and like 1930s Germany. You know, the thing that we can't do is start becoming just like the left, where we start othering a different group of people, dehumanizing them. We just saw yesterday 2 people were shot. Now I know it was a woke leftist, right? But 2 people were shot because this ideology against Israel has gotten so tenable that now we're literally seeing violence. Man, I want us to have a conversation, because when the conversation stops, when discourse stops, violence begins, right? So this is why I do what I do. You asked me why I do what I do. It's not for clout. It's not for clout. It's
400 accounts.
It's because exactly, if it was for clout, then I would do everything in my power to not be banned. But I don't self-censor at all, right? It's because I want to have conversations. I don't care if I lose this debate, as long as I have a conversation with you, because I think that at the end of the day, right, this is the only way to fix things. If you get into your echo chamber and you're only listening to these people that agree with you, you just get more and more radicalized, right? So just listen to my side. I'll listen to your side. We'll have a respectful conversation, and then hopefully, even if we don't agree on anything, hopefully we can at least have a little bit more respect for each other. Would you agree that that's fair?
I would say it is to most part. Yeah.
All right, so let's do it. So I think I basically was talking about the whether or not Israel had a hand in this. Look, here's what I will agree with you that I have said many times. There's definitely corruption in the Israeli government. There's corruption in our government. There's corruption in every government. I'm anti-government. I'm anti-corruption. Right? Perfect. We're all in agreement there. However, right, I would say that the corruption in the Israeli government has little to do with our country, right? So, like, I would say that it's probably there, right? I think that we have a problem with Qatar donating billions and billions of dollars to college universities, and we have a problem with AIPAC, who's trying to lobby as many Congress people as possible.
You just said they weren't a problem about 10 minutes ago.
No. I never said that. I said that it's not the problem you think it is. Okay, they're 20th in lobbying. They're 199th in fundraising. They're
They already got all the money, bro.
Reverse that.
They already got the money, bro. They don't need a fundraise. The politicians go to them like lapdogs for the money.
Hear me
on
out.
both sides of the aisle.
Hear me out. Okay. I am against PACs. I think that they should be illegal. I don't understand why we even have lobbying in PACs. I think that
it's called democracy.
Well, it's called corruption, actually, because you can literally buy favors from politicians instead of.
So how would you have our government set up if there's no lobbying?
I would have no secondary income, no lobbying. I would have the only donations that any candidate gets from their constituents, $3,500 per person. If you can convince enough people to give you money, that's how much money you have for advertising. I would have $1 million cap on all and any
$1 million.
$1 million.
Okay.
And
my studio here is worth more than $1 million. What kind of change? What kind of message are you going to get out there with such a low amount of money, bro?
All right. What about if you put a salary cap and everybody on the same playing field?
Was this a baseball team?
Yeah, if you put everybody on the same exact playing field, right, where they can't use their own money, they have to fundraise off of their message only, right? Where it's like, okay, here's the candidate. I would like you, the American people, to give me money, right? Now, somebody might give them $50, somebody might give them the maximum donation of $3,500, but it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, right? That's the money you have. If you can only buy a couple of ads with that, fuck it, good for you. But hey, your opponent can only buy a couple of ads with what they have. So if you're not having
how do you get the message out to your constituents with only $1 million?
You go on the media. Like the media is free. You go on podcasts. You're gonna guarantee that one guy who's let's say you have a Democrat and Republican running, and let's go by your system. They only can use $1 million. So someone has Hold on. Someone has to connect to Joe Rogan, and someone has to connect to me. Obviously, the guy who goes on Joe Rogan is going to get more people listening to him. So I'm not sure that's a fair system either. You're not listening. I didn't say $1 million cap. I said each PAC, each individual PAC can only donate $1 million. So if there's 30 PACs, right, then they can give $30 million to that candidate.
So there's a way around the system.
So no, listen. Look, the system itself right now is way more corrupt than what I'm suggesting, right? So you just said, how are they going to get the message out? I'm trying to concede here where you still have enough money to do what you're suggesting needs to be done, which is get your message out. What I'm saying is you don't have one PAC, one fucking Act Blue PAC that can give $1 billion to one candidate while the other person has, no connections to any PACs. And yeah, sure, the media is going to be more left-leaning, so they're going to give more coverage to a different candidate, right? But then we got this new media on the right with the podcasts that are coming up, and we have ways around this. But either way,
that's recent.
What I'm saying, I understand, but what I'm saying is we should take as much money out of politics as possible. And what we should not do is incentivize these organizations that can donate massive amounts of money so that when the person does get in office, they owe them a massive favor. Maybe they might owe them $1 million favor, but that's it. They don't owe them $1 billion favor. That's what I'm trying to say. If you take away the incentive for corruption, right, where it's, okay, Act Blue got Joe Biden in office. Joe Biden goes to Act Blue. Okay, what do you want me to do? Instead of working for the American people, every politician works for whoever got them elected. That's what I'm saying, and that's a huge fucking problem. So I'm against all PACs, and then this includes AIPAC, right? I'm against AIPAC.
You're against AIPAC, but you don't admit that AIPAC has way more power than most of these other lobbying groups. You don't want to admit that, even when former congressmen, and senators have said the same thing.
What is your evidence that they have more power? Like, what is the actual?
Do you know any senators or congressmen?
I know. Yeah. No. I know. I know.
Okay,
I don't know.
I do. Okay. And I used to help run campaigns for people in Ohio. That's the state I'm from. So I actually been in the rooms when these people talk to each other. I know exactly what goes on. And AIPAC has a large, extremely large influence over both parties. And the fact that you can't admit that, that I have to question your character. Either you're being naive, which says a lot about you, or you're just covering up. So next question to you is, how do you actually make your money?
I have a real job. I own my own company.
You own your own company? What kind of company?
I do kitchen and bathroom remodeling. Well, all home remodeling.
Okay, so you do 9 to 5 type of work.
Pretty much. I work a little less than that.
I see. Why do you have donation links on your Twitter account?
What do you mean?
I mean, let's see.
So subscribers?
No, not subscribers. I understand capitalism, but you're raising money for people. Let me find this real quick.
I raise money for my dying mother.
You're raising mother. Let's see here. What is going on here?
My mom, who just passed away, asked me if I would raise.
I see. So Jake Shields, a guy I know pretty well. And by the way, he is not a Jew hater. He just doesn't like Israel, because I do consider him not a good friend, but someone I'm good on good terms with. He said Misfit Patriot is a serial grifter. He uses his family members to fund his lifestyle. Is that true, my friend? Are you using your family members to fund your lifestyle?
Nope, but you're doing it again. Right?
I'm asking questions.
Hold on. I'm
not making statements. I'm asking questions.
And
I'm pulling up tweets.
You're losing this fucking debate because
I'm not losing anything, bro.
You keep on deflecting to
listen, you sound like a woman who's saying, "Oh, you're just jealous. You're jealous." No, I'm asking serious questions. Put all the feminist shit aside and be real.
You're not talking about Israel. You want to talk about me? I'll answer.
I'll talk about everything, bro. We'll go back and forth. This is what a debate is. You want no holds barred? This is it.
I'll answer if you want.
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Okay, so my mom asked me to make a fundraiser for her. I made one. It got $50,000. Right. I've spent a huge chunk of that already. I have all the receipts, and I'm going to be making a Cardinal Fund, which is where we're going to be taking the rest of the money that's in an account. It's not my money. I don't touch it. We're going to be donating that to other people, right? That's not my money. I don't care.
Who are you going to be donating it to?
People like that, like if somebody else has a terminal brain tumor, or just like random acts of kindness, basically like a pay it forward thing. We're going to do a pay it forward thing with it, right? I'm just a little busy. So
you got $50K for your mother, and she didn't need all that money, and you're going to give.
Well, so you know how. So does Shiloh Hendricks need $700,000?
Well, she's never gonna be able to work again.
I think she did a public service for America. So yeah, why not?
Well, my mom did a public service for all of my followers. She inspired them. We did videos. She was very well loved, and she was admired by my followers. My followers gave way more than I expected. But again, I have all the receipts. I just did the memorial last week for my mother, right? And it cost me about $6,000. Right. There was already 18 grand spent in the first month, paying off all of her bills, taking care of her, what have you. And then over the course of the year or so, we spent maybe 10, 15 grand. So I haven't even looked at how much is still in the fund. But last time I checked, there was like 10 grand left, and I can give that back to other people. I don't need it. So no. Yeah, but again, it's funny how you're doing this, right? It's like you start losing an argument and you go,
I'm not losing anything.
No, let me go find out something personal. Let me go find out something personal about Misfit.
Go ahead. I love it. I love it. Bring it, bro.
You
have to actually study and debate and find out something about a person.
You want to debate about me. You don't want to debate.
I want to debate about everything, including the person I'm debating.
It sounds like you don't want to debate about the actual topic, so you're.
We'll go back and forth, but we need to talk about the messenger sometimes too. We need to find out what your characteristics are. We've got to find out if you're an actual fraud or not. Because right now, someone could say, "Listen, you're scamming your followers for money." That's the accusation going around. Guess what? I'm not going to have any accusations like that. You know why? I never put out a donation link. Okay. I make my own money, bro. I don't need that. So see, that's what happens when you actually go out there and beg people for money. People are going to start saying, well, I mean, you could call it whatever you want, but when you go out there and beg people for money, people are who don't like you are going to assume you're conning people.
If your mom was dying and she asked you to make a fundraiser, would you do it?
I mean, I would pay for it myself.
But you would. But if your mom was like, "I don't want you to pay for it yourself. I want."
No, I pay for it myself. I don't need. That's my problem because I'm a man.
But you
I'm a man, and I take care of my family because I'm a man. I don't go out there in the streets with my hat like this. Oh, give me some money. That's not me. Maybe that's you. It's not me.
Hey, how do you make your money?
Numerology and astrology, stocks, sports, all sorts of stuff, bro.
So your followers give you money.
I sell courses, correct. I don't beg for money. I sell courses.
So, but your followers the only source of income that you have is for selling courses. You don't make any.
Of course not. I'm worth multiple $1 million,
so
bro.
You monetize. You monetize.
Of course. What I mean, you're a capitalist, right?
So with every piece of content that you do, you're begging your followers for money, right?
I'm not begging for my followers for anything. You'll have find one donation link. I asked to donate for something that has something to do with me. I never did that. I sell a service. Just like you go to the corner, just like you go to the corner store and you buy something from somebody. I sell a service. I'm not begging for anything.
You have a super chat on your channel, on your YouTube
Oh,
channel?
of course.
That's a donation link, retard.
Well, no. So what that is people call people. No. Hold on. No. I'm gonna check you real quick on that because when it comes down to me, I'm one of the most monetized people on YouTube. People donate to me more than anything else. But you see, it's not actually a donation. Hold on. It's not actually a donation to me because people want their readings. People put in their birthdays and they put a money, and then I give them numerology readings. So they buy a service from me. I've never asked anyone to donate anything. The only thing I ask for people is to like videos. So even that might be a bit too much.
So people give you money in exchange for your content.
In exchange for my knowledge, correct?
Yeah, that's what they did with my mom. They
whoa. What kind of benefit did they get from giving or handing you out money?
What benefit?
Explain. I gave them numerology reading.
Yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is, you have followers and fans that are paying you.
Correct, for a service, not for free. So you're asking for money for free. You're asking. Do you understand the difference between donations and actual capitalism? I'm over here with capitalism. You're over here begging. Big difference, bro.
Hey guys, this is getting a little bit redundant now. It's getting a bit redundant.
He doesn't know the difference between a donation and capitalism. This is garbage.
You just said you get more donations than any person.
I get. That's what they call it, but I'm actually not.
Topic, please.
Yeah, no problem. Let's go to the next topic, my friend. Are you married?
No, I'm not married.
Yeah, you don't have any kids?
Not yet. No.
How old are you?
Oh, just turned 40.
Just turned 40. So you're a 40-year-old man with no wife and no kids.
Here we go, dude. It's like, is this debate? Is this debate just about me? I'm flattered.
trying to find out things about you, bro.
I'm flattered.
Listen, I don't know what to think, but I think Nick Fuentes is a homosexual. So because he is a 27-year-old man who preaches about Christianity all day, but he's not putting any white babies in the world. I mean, according to him, we got to repopulate the world with white babies, but he's a 27-year-old who claims he's a virgin, but his best friends in life were Milo and a whole bunch of other homosexuals. So I consider him a homosexual based off that. You, my friend, do you like women?
Yeah, man.
You're a 40-year-old man with no wife and kids. I got to ask the question.
I date to marry, and my last relationship.
You date men or women?
Women, dude.
Okay. Just checking, bro.
Look, bro. If you're trying to rattle me, this ain't.
I'm not trying to rattle you, bro. I'm just asking questions, man. That's it.
It's just proven that you're losing the debate.
I'm not losing anything. I'm cooking you, bro, and I'm enjoying it, man. You can call me Chef Boyardee, motherfucker, because you getting cooked. Yeah, anyways, what would you like to talk about, my friend?
Well, I thought we were here to talk about Israel's.
Let's talk about it. Tell me that Israel. Tell me that Israel has a right to kill every single Palestinian. Go ahead.
Real quick. What exactly is your situation? Like, so you're married with kids?
Correct.
You're in a happy
for 20 years. I don't do that Christian nonsense where you get divorced 3-4 times. I don't do that stuff.
You happy?
Oh, extremely, man.
Okay.
I'm rich. I got a beautiful wife, healthy kids. What's not to be happy about?
I'm just curious.
No, there you go. See, I don't take that as a personal attack. You're asking questions. I'm answering. Yeah. For some reason, when I ask you the same questions, you get offended. I wonder why.
No, I didn't. I just want. So, where'd you grow up?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. You have a good childhood?
My parents were poor immigrants.
Uh-huh.
But they gave me everything I needed in life. I didn't have any extras or anything like that. You know, I lived probably below middle class for the first 18 to 23 years of my life, and then I started grinding. And I got to thank my dad, because my dad came from the Soviet Union, and he came here to give his kids a better life.
Uh-huh.
And I'm thankful for him every single day, because if I was in this country, it didn't matter how much I worked, I never would have became a millionaire. So because I'm in America, because I live in the best country in the world, because I have American privilege, I went out there and I actually made a whole bunch of money.
Cool.
But at the end of the day, this is the only country in the world where you can be a millionaire and not be a crook at the same time. You can't be a millionaire in Russia and not be a crook. You can't be a millionaire in Brazil and not be a crook. But in America, you can be. So I'm very happy that my dad gave me the opportunity to be in this country, the greatest country in human history.
That's awesome, man. I just wanted to show you what respectful dialogue looks like when you're asking personal questions. So
there's nothing you can attack me for, bro. I'm married, man. I got kids. You, on the other hand, we got some things to talk about there. But let's go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. What topic are we on now? Because we took 30 minutes to
guys.
Learn
I wanna also kind of shift to Andrew Tate, right? So Garry doesn't like Andrew Tate, but he can still admit that Andrew Tate is an innocent man. You, on the other hand, Misfit, are very against Andrew Tate, and you also say that he's guilty of everything that he's accused of. So maybe that's a new topic.
Well, I mean, Garry just accused me of assault with no evidence. So I'm just curious.
Well, no, I didn't accuse you of assault. I brought up the fact that you were charged with assault. No, it's right here. You're charged. I mean, you're charged with assault. That's not me making things up. That's not me fucking throwing things out of left field. I'm telling you fact. You have been charged with assault on a 60-year-old. Well, it is what it is.
No, you originally said I assaulted somebody, right?
Oh, God.
That's a direct accusation. Now, look, Andrew Tate, the reason I don't throw out accusations lightly. The reason I think that he's guilty is because I've seen him on camera committing the crimes, right? He's on video.
No. The girl.
Hold on. Let me handle this. Let me handle this. Let me handle this. Go ahead.
Okay. So Andrew Tate is on video slapping around a girl that he essentially pimped out on OnlyFans, right? That girl's name is Vivian. Her birthday is September 25th, 1997. That video was in 2012. That means she was 15 years old at the time of that video. This has been verified 6 ways from Sunday. Now, if your argument is going to be she was 15, but that's legal in Romania, I live in America, right? So the way I look at it is, if I see a 26-year-old man slapping around a 15-year-old girl that he's pimping out, I use American logic. Also, because he's an American citizen, there is a law in America, right, which prohibits American citizens from being abroad and doing these type of activities. The age is 18 because he's an American citizen. So when I call him a sex trafficking pedophile, it's based off of that information. Because
he smacked the girl, that means he's a sex trafficking pedophile?
Well, calls himself a sex trafficker.
So, yeah. Well, no, are you serious?
I never heard him. I never heard him say call himself a sex.
I never
heard that.
He made a joking tweet, and you're going to use that as evidence? That's brutal.
You understand what sarcasm is, right?
No, I don't think he does. I don't think he does at all.
I understand completely that he was being sarcastic. What I'm saying is, if you self-identify as a sex trafficker for sarcasm or not, right? Okay. You guys.
So that means that you're a sex trafficker. If you
guys ain't getting mad at me for.
Listen, Zerka called himself a pedo. Was he? No, it was all a joke. It was okay. So that's all nonsense. Okay. Let's go back to stuff we can actually verify. Let's talk about stuff we can verify. Andrew Tate was a pimp, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Andrew Tate exploited women to make money, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
He also made money from it, though. But.
Okay. Is that any of that illegal?
Yeah.
Not should it be legal?
No, it is.
Not should it be illegal, but is it illegal to take women and put them on OnlyFans and make money as their manager? Is that illegal?
Not if you only do that. No, but that's not what he's being charged with.
Okay, so again, we established that Andrew Tate's a pimp and he exploited women to make money. As a matter of fact, Andrew Tate came to me on Twitter in 2018. I've known this guy before he was famous, and he asked me to help him pimp his pimping course online, and he said, "Oh, I'll give you 25K. We'll split it or something like that." That's been in his brokey days and stuff like that. So I understand Andrew Tate's a piece of shit. Okay. Yeah. Andrew Tate is a serious piece of shit. There's no doubt about it. But you know what the difference between a man and a woman is? You know what the difference? If a woman hates you, she hates everything about you. She's going to hate the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you look at people. She's going to hate every single thing. But see, as a man, I can still hate somebody and respect them. Andrew Tate has one of the best mouthpieces in social media, maybe the best one of all. Andrew Tate is extremely charismatic. So hold on. Andrew Tate is extremely on point when he talks about women. I mean, you're not married. Maybe if you actually listen to Andrew Tate's advice, you have a fucking bitch.
He's not married. So I don't know what you're talking about. He's not married.
He gets women. I'm not sure about you, my friend.
Yeah, he has kids.
I get women, and having kids out of wedlock isn't a flex for me. But
no, it's definitely not. It's definitely not a flex, man. It's definitely not a flex.
You just said that you respect somebody who you've admitted is on camera slapping around a 15-year-old.
I mean, you could say it's a 15-year-old. Listen, in Russia, they decriminalized slapping women, so it's like whatever.
And it's consensual too. The girl in the video came out and said, "I'm into this type of stuff." It's like role play or whatever they do.
15-year-olds can't consent, bro. That's not how it works.
They can't in road media, which is why he moved there.
They can't.
You see, they can in many parts of the world. Listen. We've established that Andrew Tate's a no good pimp. We've established that Andrew Tate is a no good pimp. But you're not going to tell me he's a rapist. Hold on. People who look like Andrew Tate, people who act like Andrew Tate do not rape women. Maybe you think he does, but he does not. You have to understand when people are high value, they don't rape women. Women make up stuff to be with them, and then they try to charge them with some sexual battery or some bullshit like that.
If a 25-year-old man has sex consensually with a 15-year-old girl, you don't think it's rape?
Depends what country they're in.
So it's a geographical thing on whether.
Muhammad was with Aisha, who was 9 years old. Maybe you should talk to the Muslims about that.
Oh, I think that all Muslims worship a pedophile. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you.
All Muslims worship a pedophile.
All Muslims worship a pedophile. Huh?
That's right. Muhammad was a pedophile. They all worship a pedophile.
Well, I don't actually believe that he was having sex with Aisha when she was 9 years old.
No, he was having sex with her when he.
How do you know that? Were you there?
No, it's documented.
It's documented.
He consummated the marriage.
Misfit Patriot's an eyewitness to that, apparently.
Would you guys? All right. So, would you guys like to listen to the theology here?
Yeah, please educate us, sir.
They were. This is all documented the same way the Bible's documented. They were married when she was 6, consummated when she was 9. He raped a 9-year-old, according to the Quran. But like, it's not me. It's in the Quran. It's in their whole.
9-year-olds back then were like 30-year-olds now.
Yeah. Hold on. The life expectancy of women and men back in those days was about 30, 35. So yes, you started things a little bit
I can't believe I'm having a debate with two people that are saying it's okay to sleep with 9-year-olds and 15.
Not in today's day and age, but maybe it was back then.
No, never. No,
never.
We're not saying it's right, but back then for them,
back then it was okay. Back now in the United States of America, it's not. But back then it was. You have to understand cultural norms back then. It's not the same.
Norms, yeah.
No.
Cultural norms, yes.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a culture of pedophilia.
Yeah, today it is.
You know what? Let me ask you something. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Okay. You have a big problem with Muslims, I see. And by the way, I'm no big fan of Muslims either. But you have an issue with Muslims?
With Islam, yeah.
With Islam. Okay, so people who practice Islam are Muslims, so by default you have issues with them, right?
So that's why you want kids getting killed.
Okay. So
I never said I wanted anything.
Let me ask you a certain question. Women, if you go to the Middle East, not many women are whores. But you go to the UK, America, Canada, these Christian women are freaking whores. So I respect Islam because they keep their women in check. These OnlyFans girls who are making money off simps, they always have a cross on them. So is this the type of Christianity you respect?
In some Sharia countries, I think it's Iraq right now, some Sharia regions, they still actually have the age of consent at 8 or 9 years old. and that's today. In
I don't know if that's right.
No, that he's actually
100.
telling the truth. That is the truth in Iraq. In Iraq, that is the truth.
In
So
Iraq.
it's a little backwards over there. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But at the same time, these
yes, I have a problem with that.
these Muslim women, they don't have high body counts like your fellow
Yeah,
Christian women do. Why is that?
They cut their clitoris off at 14 years old. That's why. Not all of them, but yeah, no, they do. They do genital mutilation when they become sexually active, right? So, and this isn't all of them. I'm making a generalization. You're asking me what my problem is with the religion. My problem is the closer you get to following it letter for letter, word for word, the closer you get to the subjugation of women, the desire to kill and convert anybody that doesn't adhere to that religion. The closer you get to Christianity, the better a person you become. Right?
I see. So you agree with the woman's right to vote?
No, repeal it. No, in America, no, repeal.
But you just talked about women and their rights and all this other stuff, man.
No, I said you probably shouldn't rape them and cut their clit off. Yeah,
I agree with that, obviously, but you're not for the 19th Amendment, are you?
That's surprising.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at their voting record, I wouldn't be, and I think there's
okay.
So
now we have some common bond here, because do you agree that the 19th Amendment should be repealed?
100%, yeah.
Okay, how do you think the best way to do that would be in 2025?
I don't know. I mean, you just have to do it the same way we do everything else. You get Congress.
No, by force?
No,
so we start bombing all the women like they do in Gaza. How do we do that?
You do it with diplomacy.
Diplomacy?
Yeah,
women have no accountability. How are you going to do it with diplomacy?
I don't know. Then you're not going to do it.
No, you're definitely going to have to do it somehow. At some point, if women are not kept in check, the Western society is going to collapse.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'll tell you what what I want to do. I want to pay them off. Mm-hmm. Women hold 75% of the debt in the United States of America. It's probably higher in different nations, but they own 75% of debt in this nation. I'm willing to make a deal with all you women out there. Here's how the deal works. We men will pay off your debt. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to pay $1 million out of my own money just to make sure this works. Okay. I think that we men take care of women's debt, their student loans, their car loans. We take care of everything. Mm-hmm. In return, they give up their right to vote. Okay, that is something most women will go for. Most women will go for.
Put that on the ballot. Yeah,
I already told the Trump administration. We'll see what they do.
Yeah, put it on the ballot. See what it does, man. This is how I work. I think that we have the best system. I know it's not a perfect system, but I think that we have the best system for a functioning political structure, right? Constitutional republic, where we vote on things and we do it with the electoral college, et cetera, et cetera. So if you want to propose that, if you're asking me if I would agree with it, I probably would if it's what you're explaining.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, we agree on that. Let's go back to the subject of Israel. How are we going to solve this mess over there, my friend?
Well, I do like what Donald Trump is proposing, right? Where you resettle a lot of these people in Jordan, Egypt, put together some type of...
They don't want them.
Hold on. I did a debate with the opposition leader to the King of Jordan. They do, right? There's a lot of support for this. And I think that what you do is you resettle them, you rebuild Gaza, and you get other nations in the region, like Saudi Arabia, to start building in that region, right? So you start rebuilding the Gaza Strip with the Abraham Accords partners. That way, when it is fully built, you start slowly bringing these people back in, and you start having a cohesive society. And if anybody like Iran decides to attack Gaza now, they're not just attacking Israel, they're attacking Saudi Arabia, they're attacking Egypt, they're attacking Jordan. I think that's a really good idea. And I think
Saudi Arabia doesn't want any smoke with Iran. They don't really have, as a matter of fact, the Saudis joke themselves that their men are not for fighting. That's why the Saudis, that's why the Saudis use the Pakistan army and to fight the Yemenis or the Houthis. Okay, they don't fight themselves.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're putting together a coalition of nations with the Abraham Accords. If you do that, it's not Iran attacking just Saudi Arabia. It's Iran attacking Saudi Arabia, Israel, Egypt, Jordan, and anybody else that's willing to finally just put their fucking swords down and get peace. So you do this through diplomacy. What Donald Trump has started with the Abraham Accords, which it would be a lot better if he was still president in 2020, but he wasn't. What he started was he started the process. If he gets 4 years to finish that process, we could see a very long-lasting relationship in that region. And I think that's good for everybody, because despite what you fucking people may think, because you take one of my tweets out of context, I don't like war. I don't want this to happen. I don't want to see people dying. I don't want to see the Palestinians dying. I don't want to see October 7th. I don't want it. Right? The thing that I say...
One second. Hey, chat, fuck you. All right, go ahead.
Sorry. So what I say is if there is a conflict that is already, like, so let's say the Ukraine-Russia conflict, okay? I didn't really take sides on that. I think that Zelensky is a corrupt dictator. I think that Putin's a corrupt dictator. I think it's a land grab. I think it's a political war designed to make the military-industrial complex, just more rich and funnel a bunch of money and launder it, okay?
You don't know what happened in Ukraine?
Hold on. But the people in that region, right? Like, I know Ukrainians, I know Russians, I know they're both good people. There's a lot of Christians over there. There's a lot of people that I have, a connection with in that regard. I don't really have any ties or connection to Russia or Ukraine. So I basically just said, yeah, I just don't want my money going over there, and I don't care who wins.
That's fine.
With Israel, right? As a Christian, I believe in the Abrahamic covenant. I believe that I have a God-given mandate to bless those people. So I stand up for the Jewish people. I don't care about the Israel.
You have a God-given what to stand up for the Jewish people?
Mandate, Genesis.
Why?
It's in Genesis 12:3. It says, "I will bless thee that bless them, and I will curseth thee that curse them."
So when does that
hold on. You are aware that the Bible was rewritten in 1901, basically, and put in there that Jews were God's chosen people. That didn't exist before then.
No, we're not doing replacement theology.
No, I'm telling you what it was.
We're talking about the King James version that's in there right now. Okay. Are you referencing the Schofield Bible, by the way?
Yes.
The Schofield Bible that's not the Bible, dude. That's what
a lot of Christians read, bro.
That's not rewritten. That's the King. It's the the Schofield Bible is the King James Bible with notes from Schofield. That's not rewriting the Bible, and I think that's what 1%, maybe 10 million copies have been sold. So
let me ask you a question. Do you believe the Virgin Mary had Jesus without having sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe
that just amazes me. Well, so let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Muhammad, a literate man, wrote the Quran?
No, I no.
Okay, so you don't believe the Muslim fairy tales when it comes down to it, but you believe the Christian fairy tales. How does a woman have a baby without having sex?
How does a man come back from the dead? Miracles. Yeah, how is it?
Have you ever seen anything like that before? Have you ever seen someone come back from the dead?
How does every child, every firstborn child in Egypt die on the same day after in Exodus? God threw the 10 plagues at them and all of this stuff.
Do you have any proof of this?
Hold on, I'll actually explain it to you. Here's the difference between the Bible and the.
I want proof, bro, not Bible stories.
Hold on. Here's the difference between the Bible and the Quran. With the Bible, right, Old Testament and New, there are 66,000 cross references over 1,500 years on 9 different continents. 72 of the prophecies told in the Bible have come true. And
give me one.
There was the water going through the desert that just happened a couple of years ago. That was foretold.
What water went through the desert?
I don't know the exact details. So hold on, bro. Can you? Let's not act like a child. Look,
this is a joke. How can I not, bro? This is a joke. I'm asking you for proof that shit is real, and you can't provide any.
Dude, look, you need to chill. Let me finish talking. Right? Let's have a respectful debate, like I said. So, can I finish? Now, the Bible has 66,000 cross references over 9 different regions, right? There was no way for the people in one region, like let's say Africa, to be talking about the same exact thing that was happening over like in the Middle East, like in a completely different area, because it would have taken years and years and years for them to get over there. There's a lot of evidence. Now, here's the biggest piece of evidence. The Bible has never in 2,000 years been debunked, right? There has never been anything in the Bible. No, it has not.
Well.
Right. Name one thing in the Bible that's been debunked.
You can't prove that the Virgin Mary had a child without sex. You can't prove it. You cannot prove. There's not a shred of evidence, but you just believe fucking fairy tales. This is nonsense. We live in the year 2025, and you still believe the same crap they believed 2,000 years ago. You're a fucking moron.
There's archaeological, documented, verified.
Would it stand up in the court of law?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah?
If you go,
No, so you're telling me the evidence you have would stand up in the court of law?
wow. All right,
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
It's funny that a guy who's literally talking about fucking numerology as his specialty is looking for
I can prove numerology works. You can't prove anything you
Misfit
say.
Patriot, if you're gonna say that, disprove numerology.
I don't need his birthday. They're gonna. He's not even gonna tell me his real birthday. I don't even give a damn. But I can actually prove numerology works. You can't prove anything you say about your theology.
Just like you can prove Israel did October 7th, probably.
Of course I can. But when it comes down to it, numerology is real. I can prove numerology is real. I'll give you an example.
Numerology is not
the best football player of all time, Jim Brown, is born on the same exact day as Michael Jordan. As a matter of fact, they have the same exact numerology number.
That's not
so. Again, one example doesn't matter. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about some real numerology. My favorite one is 9/11. You tell me if this is a coincidence.
Yes.
The American code for emergency on the phone is 9/11.
Yes.
Correct? So on the 11th, September 11, Flight 11 hit the World Trade Center that looks like an 11 side by side. They both have 110 stories. New York City, 11 letters. Afghanistan, 11 letters. The Pentagon, 11 letters. So let me ask you something. Is that all a coincidence, sir?
Yes.
Oh, but you're not willing to believe that, but you believe a virgin had a child. You are a low IQ moron. Because when it comes down to it, I can prove that is not a coincidence mathematically. The mathematical chances of something like that happening are pretty much 1 in 10 million.
Yeah, okay. People hit the lottery all the time.
Oh my God!
What?
You're saying
wow.
like, look, it can be explained.
Wow.
Everything in numerology can.
Okay. Let's talk about Al Qaeda.
Numerology.
Al Qaeda.
Hold on. Numerology is based on faith, which is hilarious because
no, it's not. It's based on proof.
No, it's based on faith. It's
I have a whole lot. I have a whole lot more money than you, and I don't have to beg people for donations. So obviously, my system's working a lot more than you. You keep praying. You keep praying, brother. You keep praying. I'm not losing anything. You're a clown who believes a virgin had a baby, and I'm giving you actual evidence here that numerology is real, and you're laughing it off. How about this one? Al Qaeda was founded August 11th. It's 3 major terrorist attacks. Hold on, shut the hell up. There's 3 major terrorist attacks. Were 9/11 in America, 3/11 in Madrid, and July 11th in Mumbai. So the 3 biggest terrorist attacks that Al Qaeda did were all on the 11th, and they were found on the 11th. Is that a coincidence, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. See, audience, I want you to understand. This is what a low IQ person is. This is probably why he's not married, because no woman wants to be with him because he can't even support a woman. He has to go out there and ask for fucking donations. Congratulations, brother.
You're gonna lose.
Gary, what's the life path of Misfit?
I don't know what his birthday is. I really don't care, man. He's low IQ.
Every time you get personal, you go ad hominem. You lose.
Whatever you say, bro. I'm ripping you apart, man. I'm exposing you for the fraud that you are, man. Maybe after this debate, you'll put up a donation link. Oh, all the people who hate Gary, donate to me. Maybe you can do that. Maybe you can say that you're a good Christian and you want your Christian friends to donate you. Oh, my brothers and sisters, I love you. Please give me some money. You can start like that.
You're so rattled, bro.
No, I'm just putting out content, man, because at the end of the day, if you can't understand that the mathematical chances of that being a coincidence are in the millions, then you don't understand math and you don't understand probability. So you're low IQ, my friend. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
I mean,
can you actually disprove numerology?
You can't.
Yes.
Every
single part of numerology can be explained.
Explain it then. Let's hear it.
No. It can all be explained through coincidence.
Explain 9/11.
Huh? Explain 9/11?
Yeah, all the 11s and 9/11. Explain that.
Coincidence. Yeah. You ever heard?
Okay. When does it stop being a coincidence?
It's just like the number 23, right? A hammer will always see a nail. If you're looking for a pattern, you can find a pattern. But hold
on. I just explained how so many 11s were around 9/11. All you have to do is mathematical probability, and you understand that's a very, very slim chance that it happens by coincidence.
Because
when does it stop being a coincidence?
Because you're looking for 11s. That's the thing, right? If
but they're there, you fucking moron. They're there.
Yeah, but
you understand that? It happened on 9/11. The police code for emergency is 9/11. The buildings look like an 11. They both have 110 stories. When does it stop being a coincidence? Oh, I believe a virgin had a fucking child. Tell me.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You ready?
Yeah.
Right. If you believe like I do, right, that there is a God who can perform miracles.
I believe there's a God. Yeah.
If you believe that there is a God who can perform miracles, then it is not a huge stretch to think that he performed an immaculate conception.
It's absolutely amazing to me that this is the excuse. This is where all Muslims and Christians and Jews and all these Hindus and Buddhists, they're all the same. When they can't explain something logically, it's a miracle. Yeah, fucking morons. That's all they fucking do. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. How about we have some common sense? How about some common sense? How about we use math as a statistical analysis to understand if things are real or fake? Yeah. How about we do that? Explain this to me. Wall Street crashed on October 29th, 1929. Why did it crash on that day?
No idea, bro. I'm sure you're going to.
Of course you don't. I'm sure you're going to. It happened on the 29th. 2 and 9 is 11. Anything around 11 energy, you're always going to have stuff happen. Katrina happened on the 29th, the biggest disaster from a hurricane in modern American history. You're going to see a lot of terrorist attacks happen on 11 days. You can laugh there all you want, bro, but you believe a virgin had a child. I mean, what would you know? You never had a child, so maybe that's why you believe in it.
The Titanic hit the fucking iceberg on April 11th, dude. It's like this is what I'm saying.
It was the 12th, actually.
What about the fact that me and Gary are 33?
No, don't even bring that up. That's so much above this guy's IQ level.
I can literally make anything add up to 11.
Do it.
That's the thing.
Do it
right now. Do it right now.
All right, so it's 6:49. All right, so it is 6:49. It's 6:50 right. Sorry, 6:50 right
Look
now.
Look at the Mensa member go to work.
It is. Hold on. Are you transgender?
Hold on. Shut up. It's 6:50 right now. It's 6:50 right now. 6 plus 5 is 11.
You might be trans.
6 plus 5 is 11
Yes.
Okay. It's 6:50 right now. What the fuck does that mean?
Okay. Wow. Let me explain. Let me explain to you what it means. Do you know who Michael Jordan is?
Heard of him? Yeah.
Okay. What about Kobe Bryant?
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree those are some of the best basketball players of all time?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking. Okay, so Kobe Bryant is born 8/23/1978, adds up to 38, 3 and 8 is 11. Michael Jordan's born 2/17/1963, adds up to 29, 2 and is 11. So people all over the world always want to know why those guys mirrored each other, why they liked each other so much, because they're both 11 life paths. See, this is the type of knowledge you should be studying instead of your Bible. Yeah. Or your Quran, or your Torah, or your Talmud, or any other holy crap book you guys study out there.
This is hilarious. Okay,
I know it really is.
Yo, Misfit, I have everybody in my chat right now spamming to ask you if you're a transgender or not. Like literally everybody in my chat.
That's a little bit off. Come on now, he's definitely not a trans. He might be a moron, but he's not a trans. Come on now.
Like I'm actually curious, like about you guys, because the whole, you raise money for your mom. Oh, you like there's an assault charge on your record. Oh, are you trans? Do you?
I didn't say that.
That's what the chat was saying.
I'm saying, yeah. Hold on. Like, do you take this seriously? Do you want to have an actual intellectual discussion, or are you just doing this type of content for shock value?
I just had a debate with a Muslim 2 days ago and it didn't go anything like this. Ask Tyson, he was moderating it. So it was a much more respectful debate. But when it comes down to you, my friend, you're a little different of a character. You want to talk shit and you won't back up what you're saying. And quite frankly, I'm going to be very honest with you. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, so I'm just going to say it. You're poor. Why would the fuck would I listen to anything you have to say, bro? You're a failure at capitalism. You don't even have a family. Why would I care about anything you have to say? Yeah, I think you can't even start a family, bro. Because you can't afford a family because you're out here pushing donation links. I mean, don't you have any self-respect? Don't you have any self-respect, bro?
Hold on. I didn't spend $1 out of that money though. So how do you know I'm poor?
Well, if my mom asks me for money, I just give it to her.
Okay.
You have to start donation links. We're not the same, pimp.
I didn't have to.
No, obviously you did.
Yeah,
obviously you did.
My mom wasn't rich, and I'm not rich, but no, I'm not poor.
Not poor.
I have probably $200,000 worth of guns. It's like, no, I'm not poor.
$200,000 worth of guns.
I drive a very new Tundra. I own my own company.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like I make.
Do you
money.
own the Tundra or do you lease it?
It's financed. I'm about 3
Yeah, of course it's financed.
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
Because people would really actually buy things, man.
So you look at the value of a person by how much money they have.
No, that's not the only thing. I look at two things. The number one most important thing in life is family, wife, kids. You don't have that.
Yeah, it's not.
Now we can go to the money part. You're also a brokey, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I mean, you are a Christian, so most Christians are broke. So it does make sense. By the way, most Muslims are broke too. So it is what it is, man. You guys have that in common. You know what the interesting thing about Muslims, Christians? They have one thing in common with homosexuals. They always get on their knees.
So
I find that very interesting.
You accumulated your wealth by begging people on the internet for money, and
I never begged anyone for any money in my life.
So all right, well, fine. You grifted people for money by convincing them.
Well, you're grifted Christianity.
If you add 11 together, then send me some money because I'm going to teach you.
I don't have to. No one has to send me anything. I have 15,000 free videos. Tyson. Yeah. Have you ever given me a penny?
I'm going to teach you how to add.
Have you learned numerology from me?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I haven't charged you a penny, have I?
Not one.
By the way, how many other people like you on the internet exist who haven't charged? Yeah, very impressive. You can do math.
I just taught
everyone in the chat. Give them a clap. You can do math. Congratulations.
I just taught numerology.
Would you like to beg for money on this stream too? Maybe you want to put your PayPal link or your Venmo link. Maybe that's a better use of your time.
I'm teaching everybody numerology right now. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, this is cloud
you don't
world,
even understand
man.
what an 11 is, though. Like,
he doesn't understand anything. Yo, Tyson, do you understand what type of edge you have over this guy over here? He's a 40-year-old, and he doesn't have the knowledge you do at 18.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy to me that it just can't plug into your brain. Like, I feel like numerology is only for like a certain advanced kind of mind to be able to grasp and clearly.
Oh, it's definitely for a certain kind of mind. Here you go. There's numerology.
The fact he thinks this is some sort of onus.
I know. It's absolutely amazing, man. Tell us more how a virgin has a child. Tell us about that.
Immaculate conception.
Yep. Can you prove that? Can you prove that ever happened in history?
No, that's why it's called faith, bro.
Yeah, of course, man. You can't argue faith, right? That's why people of low IQ always there. Listen.
It's documented historical fact.
It's not historical fact because you can't prove it.
It's documented, which is a historical fact.
You can't prove anything.
You
can't prove a damn thing, man.
Okay,
you can't even prove Andrew Tate's guilty of anything.
Yeah,
you can't prove anything. You're over here talking shit. And by the way, there is this guy. What was his name? Murder by Crayons or something like on Twitter. Yeah, that guy right there. And I remember I did the spaces with him once, and I'm like, listen, I think Andrew Tate's a piece of shit, but what exactly don't you like about him? And he told me this. I swear to God, this is the funniest thing in the world. He basically said that his son thought highly of Tate, and that pissed him off, and that's why he started talking shit. Yeah. So because this guy's son started liking Tate, that's why this guy went after him, because he was a beta male as a father, and he couldn't be respected by his son. His son started respecting someone else, and that is why he started hating on Tate. And by the way, Tate, I hope you sue this guy into oblivion. Sue the hell out of him.
No, he is
the hell. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that Murder by Crayons guy.
Misfit's gonna get sued too.
And by the way, Tate, if you're listening, I want you to understand that here's one thing you can do. Why don't you have that Murder by Crayons kid come visit you in Romania? And you guys can hang out, you guys could chill and make a whole bunch of videos. Why don't you do that? I think that would be wonderful.
I want to address something that you said though, like about how Murder by Crayons was upset about his son getting into Tate. There's really no difference between Andrew Tate and Jeffrey Marsh, right? The groomer on the left.
Marsh.
Yeah, the groomer on the left that wears the makeup and starts talking to your kids and tries
Andrew Tate. So you're accusing Tate of being a homosexual now?
No, I'm accusing him of being a groomer.
Because that guy's a homosexual. So now you're accusing him of being a homosexual.
Well, Andrew Tate said that he would rather bang a hot tranny than a ugly woman.
Aren't you on a gay dating?
You understand that sarcasm, bro?
No, I'm not on a
You
dating
understand that
site.
sarcasm? Or
Did
you
you have
know,
like a
because you,
thing that said like "fist me" going over your face on a dating
Yeah.
profile?
Yeah,
You-
somebody,
you- hey,
somebody made a meme.
hey, Tyson, I know the next link this guy's gonna put up. Andrew Tate is suing me. Help! Give me money.
No,
Your GoFundMe coming, bro.
Andrew,
GoFundMe coming.
Andrew Tate
You can start
actually-
it now because he's
Hey.
coming after you, bro. Tate's
Andrew
gonna
Tate-
sue you.
Hold on.
Tate's gonna come after you.
Would you like to shut up for a sec? Andrew Tate.
Not really, but go ahead.
Andrew Tate already is suing me, and I don't need any
You're
money.
cooked.
You're cooked.
No, I'm
You're
not.
cooked.
You
You
are.
got the lawsuit. When was the
gonna find
lawsuit
out.
filed?
I don't know, like last month, I think.
Last month.
Yeah.
Bro, he's gonna take every
GoFundMe
little
it.
penny you have. Anything you have,
You
he's
wanna-
gonna take.
You want to put?
And you know, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
You want to put?
He's a
friendly
piece of
wager on it?
shit. Yeah, sure. How much?
Let's do like $5,000.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So
$5,000.
so if-
$5,000
if-
that Andrew Tate is gonna take you and win that case. 100%. I'll take
Alright,
it.
so
'Cause
So if the lawsuit that he has against me gets dropped or dismissed, or if I win it, anything, then you owe me $5,000.
Deal.
Okay.
Deal. Yo, Tate, cook this guy, man, for real, man.
All right.
And if you don't, I'm gonna start going after you again, bro. You know, listen, if I don't give a fuck about $5,000, man. I thought you wanted to bet some real money, but that's fine.
No,
Maybe you
no,
can, if you lose, you can open up another donation link and raise up that 5,000, and send it to me.
No, like I said, I just wanted it to be a friendly little bet that I'm sure you can afford it. You've told me how rich you are.
I mean,
I can definitely
this
afford
ring
it.
right here is about 30K. A Rolex right here about 30. So I mean, it is what it is.
I mean,
how much is he suing you for?
50,000.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Yo,
Yeah.
Tate, man, put another zero on the end of that fucking lawsuit. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
Yeah. Don't worry.
He's only suing you for 50,000. Maybe he's trying to get all your mother's money
Yeah.
that
Don't worry.
you raised for.
I wouldn't worry about it though. Because
I'm not worried about it. He's not suing me. He
He's,
knows not to sue me. I'll fucking cook the hell out of him.
no, I mean, like, let me rephrase. I'm not worried about it.
I think you are.
I'm really not. Yeah.
Is that the first time you've been sued? Oh no, of course
yeah.
not. The U.S. government's going after you too for hitting, allegedly assaulting a 60-year-old. So yeah,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Okay, so we got through Andrew Tate.
We actually didn't get through Andrew Tate. You have
That's
yet to prove any evidence that he's a rapist
He's on
or
video.
anything
Okay.
of that
The only
sort,
way you're
man.
being sued is
Here's-
you just say something
Because you're
wrong.
lying.
Here's
He
the
has
evidence.
never
Hold
been
on.
convicted
you
in the
wanna-
court of
do you-
law of being a. You know, this is the
do you
crazy
wanna
part.
stream?
I have to defend people I don't like because of this piece of shit over here.
Yeah,
And by the way, this is why I respect Myron.
Mhm.
Myron and DDG do not like each other. He
Mhm.
fucking hates that guy. But when DDG got accused of hitting his mother, Myron backed him up right away. Because again, that is a real man. Even though he doesn't like him, he goes out and he fucking respects what's real.
I understand this is a 2-on-1 and Tyson isn't moderating it properly, right?
I think
Where-
he's
Well,
moderating it
hold on,
fine.
Hold on. No.
I'm doing
You
my
ask.
best, but when you, say
ask
stuff like
no.
he's
Shut the
guilty
fuck
with no
up. You
evidence,
ask
don't make
a
me-
fucking.
don't
You
make
ask
me.
a fucking
Don't
question.
make me miss
You
it.
ask a question.
You say bullshit.
You ask a question.
Bullshit.
Exactly. See, this is the problem with you guys.
Tyson, let him talk.
You ask
Let
a
him talk.
question. You ask a question. You don't let me answer, and then both of you jump in. I'm fine with the dog pile, but if you want to do it this way, I'm telling you, you're the ones that are just coming off as just disingenuous.
Bro, I'm gonna clip this
ask-
up and cook
ask
you
me-
and get millions of views on
don't
fucking
care,
IG.
Go ahead.
What do you think? You're basically
Bro,
like a whore for me, bro. I'm using you for content.
Yo,
You don't
you're-
get that?
You're
You don't
sim-
get that?
you're
Even a
sim-following.
prostitute gets paid. You're doing this for free. I'm literally gonna cook you on the internet. The
Okay.
same way I cooked Stu Peters, the same way I cooked all these Muslims, I'm gonna cook you.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy this stuff. I'm really gonna make you famous.
Bro, look, I think that you think that you're gonna do that. Yeah, good for
I
you.
already know I'm gonna do that bad.
It's like, bro, like this is the problem. You're literally just self fucking flatulating all over this debate. If you want to have a debate, we'll have a debate.
Yes, but the reason I go against you is because you spout out
yeah,
nonsense.
Tyson, you're supposed to be a moderator.
Yeah,
all right?
but I'm also fair, and I'm not.
No,
gonna
you're not being fair. You're literally not being fair.
I would say I have been fair.
Who's the victim now? Who's the victim now, Misfit?
I'm just trying. I don't care. I'm just trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you.
You can't teach
how to
me
do it.
anything, poor man. A
Yeah,
poor
no.
man ain't gonna teach me shit, bro.
So
Stay
look,
in your lane.
You when you do a debate
Mm.
as a moderator, Tyson, I'm talking.
Yeah,
about.
but you're
Hold on, you're doing it right now. Shut the fuck up.
saying false stuff. You are
You're
saying
you
false
sound
things.
you sound like
You want me
you
to
sound
just
like
sit here and be complicit to your
yes
lies?
yes because the
What do
debate
you
is
want me to do?
the
Whoever wants
debate
Piers
is
Morgan,
between
Piers Morgan
me.
doesn't just sit there and not say anything. He
The
fucking
deb-
speaks too,
The
bro.
debate is between me and Garry.
I already cooked you, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want to ask a question and let me answer? Okay. Do you want to ask a question? Let me answer. I'm just
Bro, you're easier than Andrew Wilson, man, and I gotta say, man, that's something else, man, because that simp over there who's taking care of other man's kids, bro. That I'm cooking you worse than that guy, man.
So far, I've heard you say, "I've cooked you, I've cooked you, I've cooked you." I've heard you give yourself a pat on the back for about.
I'm listening to the chat over here, bro. They're the ones who are saying it.
Those are your simps. You have more followers than me. I don't give a fuck. What I'm
I wonder why.
What I'm asking is, you are so afraid to
Tyson's about to have more followers than you too.
You two, hold on. You two are so afraid to let me answer a question because you have no argument on the merits, right? I would fucking destroy you if you shut the fuck up and let me answer.
Tyson, give him 2 minutes. Give him 2 minutes. I'm quiet, bro.
Okay, so yeah, the question was, right, what proof do I have that Andrew Tate is like guilty of rape, right? Andrew Tate is on camera admitting to having sex with 15-year-olds.
That's not rape.
A 15-year-old cannot consent.
That's statutory.
Statutory what?
Statutory. It's not the same thing as rape.
What comes after the word statutory?
You know damn well what comes, but it's not the same thing. But you can't even prove that. You can't even prove that.
So based on his own admission, he's guilty of statutory rape.
In Romania, what's the age of consent?
16.
Mm-hmm. So it was a 16-year-old girl?
No, 15. He said 15 twice.
He said 15?
He said 15 twice.
If that's true, how come the Romanian government hasn't booked him yet?
They did, you moron.
Well, how come he's not in jail and he just came to Miami and he came to LA and he came to Vegas? Why is that?
You don't know how the Romanian judicial system works, right?
You do. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, he was under judicial control. They're only legally allowed to hold him for 180 days, and then they get to loosen his restrictions. They loosened his restrictions, and he was able to travel only, but he still has to check in every month because he's still under indictment. He's still charged. He's still going through the entire
They
court
allowed him to leave the country.
Yeah, under judicial control.
Do you understand when you leave the country, that means they trust him to come back?
Yeah.
That means there's not enough evidence there to hold him?
That's not what that means.
That's exactly what it means.
There's extradition treaties. He's one of the most recognizable people on the planet. They have all of his assets. If he leaves and he takes off, he loses his house, his cars, everything.
Who cares? He has more than that in Dubai.
Yeah, but
listen. See, that's the thing. You're a brokey, so you're thinking, "Oh my God, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose his cars. And he's gonna lose his house in Romania. That's like 20, 30 million to him. That's not real money to him. That might be like $30 to you. So he's gonna move to Dubai and he's gonna live there. You know what his biggest mistake was?
Oh my God,
leaving Dubai. That was his biggest mistake.
They also have
leaving Dubai. His dumbass never should have left.
They have his children. They have his children.
Let's go one at a time now. Yeah,
they have his children too. He has everything in Romania when he travels. He is monitored and he has to check in. If he leaves and takes off, right? They have like all of his they have his family there. They can monitor them, they can hold them.
You're telling me they're gonna hold his family if he doesn't come back?
Yeah, they can. It's
so Romania is some medieval country that holds family members if Andrew Tate does something wrong. Can someone verify this? Because this is all nonsense, man. I refuse to believe that there's a government in Europe that will imprison family members if some other guy doesn't come back to their country. Come on, bro. Yo, Andrew, I'm giving you more material to sue this guy with.
Go ahead, dude. I'm telling you, this is how it would work. If he were to leave, right, all of his assets would be seized. His family would be monitored. They would probably be put under restriction, under investigation because of colluding with a known person that fled the country.
His family would be under house arrest because Andrew Tate allegedly did a crime. What type of medieval shit is this?
You just don't understand how shit works. Okay.
Listen, I understand that Romania is in Europe and the European Union would never allow that.
No, that's cool. You just don't understand the Romanian system.
Okay. We'll look it up afterwards, but I would love to see how they're going to imprison family members because of a crime of someone in the family. This is nonsense.
They can hold them if they are communicating with him, right? They can also let them go and they can follow them. They can put them under investigation. They can do all sorts of shit. So Andrew Tate would be ridiculous.
Andrew Tate's going to be in Dubai. He's going to live there for quite a while.
If he's innocent, why would he have to do that?
Because he's sick of fucking being in Romania. They had him under house arrest. They had him under house arrest for 3 years or 2 years. There's no evidence. They couldn't prove anything.
Why would he flee and leave Romania and leave all of his assets?
Why would he want to be around the fucking bitch that's always nagging you and always poking you? You want to fucking leave? Get out.
You said Andrew Tate should flee the country as a fugitive. But
he's not a fugitive. He's not a fugitive.
If he was to flee the country, he would become a fugitive. And you say he's also innocent. Why would he flee the country and become a fugitive?
My friend, I want to make this abundantly clear with you. If they had evidence to book his ass, he would have been booked already.
They did.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. Stop. Let me actually tell you what happened. Okay. I'm going to release some information right now. I probably shouldn't, but whatever. Let's get some views, man. August 2022. All the big tech companies had a big meeting, and it was about Andrew Tate. He was blowing up. He was hijacking the social media platforms, and they wanted to bring him down. So they had all the hold on, chill. They had all the social media companies there. There's only one that left. It was YouTube. They said, and we're not down with this. But all the other social media companies said, we're going to take this guy out. And the American government under the Biden administration was complicit. Anthony Blinken gave the Romanian government Abrams tanks to basically go after Andrew Tate. If you look at when the Abrams tanks were delivered to Romania, it was right after Andrew Tate got arrested. It was a payoff. Because big tech, hold on. Big tech wanted.
I know you don't like being interrupted, but you love interrupting me.
Big tech wanted him shut down. They fucking went to the Biden administration, and the Biden administration and Anthony Blinken went to the Romanian government and said, okay, we're going to give you Abrams tanks. We need you to take care of this guy. And the only reason this information got released is because Trump got in office and all this information came out because they actually tell the truth. And by the way, Donald Trump is the best president in modern American history, and I hope he has a third term.
Do you want to know what really happened?
No, that's actually what really happened.
I can tell you what really happened.
You don't know anything.
I do. This is all public record. If you want to actually read the court documents instead of taking, trust me, bro. Do you want to let me finish? Do you want to let me actually talk?
Go ahead. Man.
Okay. So Tristan Tate, he was telling this girl who lives in Florida to come to Romania, and he was like talking to her, trying to get her over there. She did. She went to Romania. He put her in this little compound with a bunch of girls that were doing OnlyFans work in this little separate building off from the house. And she reached out to her friend, who's an American Marine, right? And he basically was like, hey, what you're describing, it sounds like a brothel, sounds like sex trafficking. Some of the girls were saying they can't leave, they don't get paid. He's working them like 16, 17 hours a day. So the girl from Florida was like, okay, I want to get out of here. So she called her friend, the Marine. The Marine reached out to DICOT, the Romanian investigators, and they already had an open investigation into Andrew Tate because of him coming from the UK, where he was already a person that has indictments over there. When DICOT got the new information from the Marine based off of the girl in Florida, they had enough evidence to go arrest Andrew Tate. So they went in, they arrested him, they put him in jail. He was in jail. They charged him. They have had the case open this entire time. Right. In December, there was like a filing error, which is what he says. He says the whole case was dropped. It wasn't. They just refiled. And the case
filing error.
Yeah, it happens in court all the time, right? It does. It happens in court all the time. So look, right as of right now, Andrew Tate is still under judicial control. That is all the proof you need that he is still
he's still under judicial control.
Yeah, so he's still indicted.
Why was he allowed to leave the country? They literally had him. They had him. Hold on. They had him in prison. They had him in prison. They had him in prison. They could have locked him up. They didn't have enough evidence. They had to let him go. You need to get. You know what you need to do? You need to apologize to Andrew Tate and beg him to drop the lawsuit because he's gonna take what little money you have. He's gonna fucking take it.
No,
Is
fuck
this
that
what you
kid.
want? Be a man and admit that you are wrong right now. You
Um,
can say Andrew Tate's a piece of shit. I agree with you.
No,
You can
Andrew-
say this is all karma. I would agree with you.
No.
But you cannot call him a rapist with no evidence
I'm saying
whatsoever.
based off of Andrew Tate's own admissions, he's a rapist. Based off his own-
Admissions, like the sarcasm.
No, it's not sarcasm. He was being filmed, and he said, "Yeah, I hooked up with this girl who was 15. This girl
Never
was
said
my
she was
girlfriend."
15.
Yes, he did, dude. This is all on video. I don't understand why you don't
So
understand what
you're
I'm saying.
telling me he made a video saying,
Can you pull up this video? I want to see
Yeah,
it.
dude. If you
Yeah,
want
let's
pull it up.
go to
Pull
Milk,
it up.
go to Milk Bar TV, right? Milk Bar
Milk
TV.
Bar TV? What
Yeah.
the hell kind of porn
That-
site is this?
that sounds credible.
Go to Milk.
The
Go to
Milk Bar TV? You
Milk
want us
Bar
to
TV.
believe something called Milk Bar TV?
No, I
Are you
want you
out your freaking mind?
No, I want you to believe Andrew Tate when he says, "I'm hooking up with this girl. She's 15." Right? He has a supercut of all. This is Andrew Tate's words. It's not edited out of context. Andrew Tate's done so many interviews and podcasts, and he brags because he's got a fucking.
No, I mean,
complex.
he's got a big mouth. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, Andrew Tate's his own fucking worst enemy. If he never went and admitted to all this shit, if he didn't film himself slapping around Vivian when she was 15 years old, I wouldn't be calling him a rapist because I wouldn't have the evidence, right? I have video evidence of Andrew Tate doing the things that I'm accusing him of.
You have video evidence of him raping a woman.
No, I have. Yes,
No,
actually,
exactly. You just
I
said
have-
no.
hold on,
You just said no. You just said no.
Listen, I have video evidence of him admitting to sleeping with underage girls, which is evidence of him raping a woman, a girl. Yeah, 100%. He's got Vivian in a different video going, "I've been with you 8 years. When's your birthday?"
You always trust women?
Bro, Andrew Tate's the one saying it.
Hold on. Do you always trust women?
No, but Andrew Tate's
No,
saying
no.
it.
Okay, so
it's not
so
about,
you do understand women lie.
well, no,
You do understand that you
her
do
ID
understand when a man has
passport-
money.
her
When a man
passport.
has money, I understand that's not a problem you have.
Hold on.
But when a man has
You like-
money, these bitches will
You-
try to lie
you-
and take your bag.
you
You
like
do
math.
get that, right?
You said you like math, right? What is 2012 minus 1997? What is it? What is 2012 minus?
15.
That's 15,
15.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's what it's-
depending, it could be actually 14, depending on
okay.
when.
So I'm not going off of anybody's word. Andrew Tate uploaded a video of Vivian in 2012. Her passport says 1997.
Well,
Do the fucking math.
let me ask you this. Say you lose the lawsuit. Okay.
I won't, but okay.
Okay. Let's just say you do, and Andrew Tate offers you a deal.
Mhm.
Don't worry about the 50,000. You just got to get in the ring with him. Would you do that?
Huh? I mean, no, but
Of course you wouldn't.
on.
Of course
No,
you
no.
wouldn't.
hold on. I don't know.
And by the way, I'm gonna make this statement right now. If Andrew Tate can beat me in chess, which that moron would never will, but if he can beat me in chess, I'll go in the ring with him.
Why do you this is the I find this so fascinating about
I know you do.
you people
I
on
find
the
it
internet.
fascinating you believe
Hold
a
on,
virgin can have a
Sure.
child. I find that very
You
fascinating.
people on the internet, right? It's really
You're on the internet. What do you mean, you people? You're
No,
one
you
of us,
do
bro.
it. You do it.
100 accounts.
You just don't do it as good as me.
No, I don't do it for a living. But that's what I'm saying.
Of course,
you
you're
have
begging
this-
people for money.
How old are you? How old are you, Garry?
In my 40s, man.
You're in your 40s, right?
Yes,
You act like a fucking elementary school kid. Like, oh, you want to
I
fight?
do.
You want to fight? You got to fight to prove you're a man. I have more
I'm
money
not.
than
I
you.
don't have to
I
do
have
anything,
more, I have
man.
more money than you. I'm more important than you. I have.
You don't,
viewers, I
bro.
have this.
Forget the
bro,
money. Forget the
everything-
money.
everything
Forget
with
the
you-
money. You don't
everything
have a
with you-
family. You're 40 years old. You don't have a family. You don't have kids. You're a fucking failed reincarnation. Piece of fucking
Bro.
shit.
You don't have anything if the things that you value based off of your own.
I
admissions
value my
are-
family.
the
I
only
value
thing
my
you-
kids.
no, you
The
value-
best
you
thing
value
I do
material-
every
material.
single morning when I wake
Material.
up, my kids come up to
Here's
me
my
and they
watch.
give me kisses and
Here's my
hugs.
watch. Here's
That
my
is
watch.
the best single thing
Here's
that
my
happens in my
watch.
life. I
Here's
have
my
a
ring.
family. You
Here's
don't
my
have a
watch.
family, bro.
Here's my watch.
You can't
Here's my
even
ring.
get a woman.
Here's my watch. Here's
Maybe
my
you're
ring.
homosexual. Who knows?
That dude, I mean, you've been talking about your watch, your ring, your followers, how popular you are, the people that you know, the high, powerful figures. You don't give a shit about your family. You're here right now talking.
What are you
about what's
talking
really
about?
important.
We're bringing up my
What's really-
family more than anything else.
Only
As a
in
matter of
response
fact,
to
I'm bringing
me.
the fact that you don't have a family. You are a 40-year-old man
Yeah.
and you don't have a wife and kids. Yo, bro, that's suspect as hell. A lot of
Yeah,
people would
well-
consider you a homosexual just by that.
Well, some
I mean,
people-
maybe you and Nick Fuentes have a lot in common.
So, has anybody ever gotten married and had kids after 40 years old? I mean, it's not something that's like,
So
it's not
you
uncommon.
still think you're gonna have good seed after 40? You think if you're gonna impregnate a woman, your seed's gonna be good? Maybe you'll have a mentally retarded kid because you waited so long. No, this is the fact. The longer you wait as a man, the worse your seed is. I'm not gonna have any more kids. I'm done. I had my kids already.
My dad had me when he was 30. When he was 39.
Yeah, 30. You're right. 30. 30's not 40.
39. He had me. When
okay, so when are you planning to have a kid?
I'm trying, man. But you know what?
You're trying. It's not working out for you, huh?
No, dude. Like I said, this isn't how people win debates, right? I mean, you're
brother. You think we're having a debate?
No,
I'm actually gonna
it.
clip you up and cook the shit out of you on the internet. That's the only reason I agreed to this. Okay. You're literally a nobody, and I'm using you like a fucking prostitute, except you're not getting paid. I do appreciate it though. Good looking, bro.
Okay, so that's all I want to know. You didn't want to have an actual debate.
No, bro. There's nothing to debate. Okay. You are so stupid. You actually believe AIPAC doesn't have influence in the world. I am a Jewish man. I'm willing to admit AIPAC has a lot of influence in America. I'm also willing to say Israel has a right to defend itself.
Sure.
Okay. But at the same time, you said you're willing to kill every single Hamas member and everyone around them just so their family, all the Palestinians, just so Israel's safe?
No,
are you out your mind?
I didn't say that. Again,
let me tell you what I would do.
Hey, hold on, one second. I just want to
go ahead.
One final thing. Is this a real debate, or do you want to continue just doing?
No, we go back and forth, man.
No, so is it going to be a clippy thing, or do you want to?
It's already a clippy thing. It's already a clippy thing.
Oh my God, he's gone.
Yo, that's how you cook somebody. That is exactly how you cook somebody. Tyson, did I not tell you what I was going to do to him? See, this is the thing. This is the thing. I want people to understand something. When it comes to pieces of shit like this guy or Andrew Wilson, I'm not there to debate him. I'm there to make him look bad. When it comes down to your last guest, I was very respectful.
True.
Two days ago, I was very respectful with the Muslim. But when you go out there and you start saying stupid stuff like AIPAC doesn't have a large influence over America, listen, I'm not saying it's even wrong that they do, but it's a common fact that they do. It's not just in this country, it's every other country. So when they start saying, yo, that's not true. And the second thing, I am connected to a lot of Jewish people who are billionaires. And they told me on the phone on October 9th, Netanyahu let them in. Okay? People who have Trump's number, people who have Netanyahu's phone number, and they can call him right now, and that motherfucker will pick up. They told me the IDF let them in. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. If it wasn't for that part right there, if I didn't know that part right there, I might be worse than the goddamn Israelis. Because let me tell you what I would do. And boy, people are going to get mad at me right now. I think there's a lot of innocent people in Gaza getting killed. That's pointless. Why are you creating a whole bunch of new Hamas members? All those kids who are young, 12, 13, 14, when they grow up in 5, 10 years, they're going to be the new Hamas. So you're literally creating more Hamas members. And those people had nothing to do with what happened. You know what I would have done if I was Israel?
What?
I would have targeted every Hamas member and every one of their families. Every Hamas member's families would have been put down. Every one of Hamas would have been put down. And that's how I would have fucking done it. That's how I would have done it. And by the way, Israel, Hamas, Mossad, that guy, if it wasn't a false flag, what happened yesterday in D.C. when he killed 2 Jews? Yo, bro, you got to make an example of this guy and do what you need to do, because you can't have people running around just killing people. This is not the Middle East, okay? I don't give a fuck what happens there. This is what people don't understand. I don't give a fuck about Israel or Palestine. But if you're going to sit here and fucking lie, I'm going to fucking call you out on it. That guy just ran like a fucking bitch that he is. That's what he ran on. And I told you exactly how this was going to go. He can't debate. He can't do anything. I don't even know who this guy is, man. I just looked at he has 50,000 on Twitter. By the way, the only reason I have 50,000 on Twitter is because I've been suspended 24 times. I would have had like 500,000 on Twitter by then. So it is what it is. But, you know, Tyson, Get GG33, you're a terrorist. I don't give a fuck what you
This
say.
chat is so
I
weird.
don't care what you chat say, okay? You are brokies. I don't care what brokies say. Your words have no value, just like a fucking whore has no fucking virtue. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Shut the fuck up, chat. I don't give a damn about you. I'll cook that guy. I'll cook you. I don't give a fuck. By the way, 305 podcast today at about 9:45
Yes, sir.
with Fresh and Dom. And we will be talking about this typical Jew. You notice how they all started hating on me after Misfit left? You notice how they all started hating me? I'm going to make this clear, guys. I'm going to make this abundantly clear. Tyson, you're most likely going to make it. But most of these guys in the chat, I want to tell you what your future is. In about 2 to 3 years, about 15% of jobs are going to be taken away by AI. In about 4 to 5 years, about 60 to 70% of the jobs are going to be taken away from AI. You guys are going broke. And you know what the difference is? It's okay to be broke. I was broke at one time. But at least I had the opportunity to do something with my life. I had the opportunity to make something in my life. That opportunity is not going to be there for you guys. It's not going to be there in 4 or 5 years. If you don't make your bag within the next 2-3 years, you're done. Yeah. You're absolutely done. And then who are you going to blame then? The Zionists. Who are you going to blame then? See, here's the thing about Zionism. Nick Fuentes is 100% wrong when he says Zionists control America fully. They probably control about 30, 40%. That's a big number. But the fact that you have to understand this, if the Zionists had complete control of America, they would have bombed Iran already. They tried to bomb Iran. Netanyahu was talking to George W. Bush. He didn't do it. Then he started telling Obama. He didn't do it. Then he started going at Trump in his first term. He didn't do it. He couldn't get Biden to do it. And now Trump says, F you. If they had that much control, they would have bombed him. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? True. Next question is, Trump is killing people in Gaza. How is he killing people in Gaza? Oh, the U.S. is selling their weapons. We sell weapons to many countries around the world. That's the nature of war. And to my Muslim friends, I want to tell you a story about the Seminoles. There's a tribe in Florida, in modern-day Florida, and they were the only Indian tribe to defeat the U.S. Army, or at least they didn't lose to the U.S. Army. All the other tribes lost. And because of that, right now the Seminoles make billions upon billions of dollars every single year with their casinos. They have a monopoly on the casinos within the Florida state constitution. Why are they allowed to do that? Because their ancestors won wars. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? When your ancestors win wars, their descendants have privilege. I have privilege. They have privilege. I have privilege because I'm American. They have privilege because they're Seminoles. Do you know if you're a Seminole, you get $15,000 a month? If you have a kid, you get an extra $12,000 a month. So some of these people are racking in $50,000 a month. That's what happens when you win wars. That's what happens when you win wars. To my Muslim friends, start winning wars, then you can dictate terms. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Win wars. And again, I cooked the Christians enough. Now let me talk to the Muslims. If Allah really loves you, why did he not stop the Zionists from bombing the shit out of Gaza? Why? Yeah. What, is he challenging you guys? Is this some kind of a love? This some kind of lesson in life? No. This is why religion is all bullshit.
It just shows kind of how messed up the world is, though. You know, like humans have free will from God to do what they wish, and this is what they choose to do. You know.
Yes, 100%. 100%. In closing, my man, there's a lot of low IQ people in the world. And what you have to understand is religion is not the answer. Obviously, religion is way better than degeneracy. Homosexuals, whores, it's way better than that. But at the end of the day, there's a glass ceiling on religion. You can't go because they're going to start calling numerology and astrology witchcraft. Yeah. Witchcraft. This is a gift from the prime creator. What you call God, I call the prime creator. This is a gift from him. Start studying numerology, start studying astrology, and you will get an edge in life. Yeah. And by the way, people always talk about, oh, this Jew always talks about money. The main thing I have is a family. By the way, you Christians and Muslims get divorced all the time. I'm a Jewish man who married a Muslim woman in 2004. I married a Muslim woman when they were still hating on Muslims for 9/11. Your propaganda doesn't affect me. It never has. It never will. But to the younger generation, Tyson, when you get my age, I promise you, numerology and astrology will be right up there with every single religion in the world. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty close to writing a book. We're going to call it the Numerology Bible or Quran, whatever. And we're really going to go out there and we're really going to change the world. And I here's the thing. I can retire right now. I don't need money anymore. I'm good. Ask my producer over here, man. It's a pain in the ass to even come down to the studio. It's like an hour away because this is in Brickell. I'm all the way in Sunny Isles. This is a pain in the ass, but I do it because I want to change the world, and I have. So yeah, it is what it is. Tyson, keep bringing these guys on. I'll keep cooking them, man. And if they're respectful to me, I'll be respectful to them like I was last time. This one, nah, bro. I took a look at this guy. He's over here assaulted. He was charged with assaulting a 60-year-old. And then he's going to claim a 60-year-old jumped him. What, do you go to a nursing home and they start hitting you with canes and shit like that? Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. He wants to talk about Andrew Tate. Listen, I've said this many times. Andrew Tate's a piece of shit. Okay? Wow. Me and him have problems since before he was famous. Okay? He knows not to talk shit about me because I'll cook him like I did back in the day. He went after me. I never went after him. He went after me. But he's not a rapist. People who look like him, people who talk like him do not rape women. They just don't. Yeah. And quite frankly, I don't believe these women. I only trust two women in this world, my mother and my wife. The only reason I trust my wife is because I've been with her for 20 years. Yeah. It is what it is. Tyson, I hope your audience learned something, that it doesn't matter if they're Muslims, Christians, they will always say, oh, it's a miracle. It's faith. You can't argue it's a miracle. You can't argue it's faith. Obviously, the prime creator can do everything he wants. But I believe the prime creator doesn't interfere. He does not interfere. He put us in this world, which is run by demons. Even in the Bible, in the Quran, it says evil runs this world. And I believe our challenge is to stay a good person and not get corrupted. And that's how you ascend. Absolutely. And as a 33, brother, you're doing exactly what you should be doing, man.
Yes, sir. And I'd say you're definitely like inspiring my generation too. Like even a kid in my class today, I told him that I'm doing this debate and I told him I'm having Garry on. He's like, oh, Garry, I know Garry. I follow him on TikTok. Like my generation is seeing your stuff. So yeah, you're definitely spreading it for sure, I would say.
I'm doing it. Anyways, it was I'm not sure I'd call this a podcast. It was definitely something.
It was a face-off.
It was a face-off, but at the end of the day, he ran like a little bitch, and this is what you expect. This is a man who doesn't have a family. I rip on Nick Fuentes for not having a family, not having kids at 27. This guy's 40, bro. This guy's going to be in a nursing home by himself pretty soon.
And I just want to say too, I just want to bring up his tweet. He did in fact tweet, "I'm okay with as many dead kids as it takes to stop Hamas." And literally every single Palestinian can die if that's what it takes to save Israel. So he tweeted that.
That's too much. Listen, I told people if I was the prime minister of Israel, I would have targeted Hamas and every one of the Hamas's family members. But you cannot kill kids indiscriminately. Yeah. I don't like the word, that G word, but it's a problem. It's a problem. And quite frankly, I think the elitists control both sides. I think the Zionists are losing their power right now. And I think the real danger is AI. People really need to take AI seriously. You guys are focusing too much on the Zionists, and they're like this Titanic. It's a sinking ship at this point. Have you noticed that as soon as Donald Trump started pushing back against Netanyahu, all of a sudden the prime minister of the UK, the prime minister of Canada, and the president of France all said the same thing. America leads, the world will follow. And that's exactly how it should be. And I'll close with this. Gaza is not the center of the world. I don't give a damn what these Muslims say. Gaza is not the center of the world. It's honestly a shithole. like most of the world outside of America, including Canada. It's a freaking shithole. But human life must be respected.
Yeah.
Human life must be respected. But see, the thing about the Muslims, they only care about Muslim blood. They only care when dark people die. You hear the Muslims say anything about Ukraine, where 10 times as many people have died? Not a word about that. They only care about Muslims. They don't give a damn about anyone else. White people are disappearing all over the world. In 1920, out of every 100 people in the world, 30 were white. Right now in 2025, of every 100 people, 8 people are white.
Damn.
That's the real genocide. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about Muslims being genocided when it's the white people who are actually being genocided right now in the world. And I'll leave with that.
Garry, where can everybody find you that might be watching on my stream?
Just put in GG33 or Matrix Prime on any social media. You'll find me. By the way, I have like literally like 50 accounts. I only run like 1-2 myself. Shout out to all my affiliates out there. My main TikTok account is what the hell, GG33 Academy. My YouTube account is GG33 Academy. My main IG is Matrix Prime. And just put in GG33. You'll find me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We didn't talk about numerology too much today. We will in the next episode. Absolutely. And by the way, I demolished that guy. And the chat can go to hell. You guys are a whole bunch of brokies. Who cares what you think?
Guys, I don't know how you guys in the chat are actually thinking that Misfit Patriot came out. First of all, if you're rage quitting a debate, it's not because you won. I'll just say that much. If you're rage quitting, it's not because you took a W. I'll throw that out there. So I don't know what you guys.
I love when people in the chat say small dick energy. That just tells me you're a homosexual. When you start bringing up another man's body parts, you are a homosexual. Anyone who brings stuff like that up is literally a homosexual.
Yeah, because why are you thinking about that? Why is it
it's
the
disgusting.
first thing that your mind goes to?
It's just all these beautiful women with these beautiful curves, and men want to, get on their knees and open their mouth. I don't know.
Yeah, people are saying this wasn't a debate and the moderator sucks. Okay, I was telling them to speak one-on-one, but when he starts saying garbage, I gotta chime in.
Oh yeah, I was disrespectful today. I came in here. I have no respect for that guy. Why do I have to be respectful? I'm not going to be respectful, man. He should have done some research, or he should have watched that Andrew Wilson podcast I did, and he would have seen exactly what I am, man. It is what it is. I will have a debate when people are honest, when they actually want to debate. Don't tell me the APAC doesn't have influence. What the fuck, man?
And guys, go watch Gary's debate he just did with the Muslim skeptic. That one right there was a very respectful and
extremely respectful debate.
Extremely, yeah. That one was really good content. So go give that a watch too. Guys, if you're watching this right now and you don't know who I am, I'm going to keep hosting these type of debates. My name's Tyson Hockley. You're going to see a lot more of me as I continue to take over the freaking internet. So subscribe to support what I'm doing and all that good stuff as well.
33 to 3 to 3. We'll do this again.